know it was called feeding the ducks? Well, it is. That's what we're doing right now. We're feeding ducks. Come here, duckies. Eat it. Eat it. Chew it. Swallow it. Don't bite my finger. Ooh, be nice. Ooh, close one. Feeding the ducks. You like that, ducky? Take it. Take it, duck. You like that, duck? We're best friends, duck. You want more? Don't be greedy. Feeding the ducks. You're feeding the ducks. You're feeding the ducks. You're feeding the ducks. Who? Me? Feed the ducks?
My name's Aidan Kearney,
known online as
Turtle Boy, and is a senior editor for
TBDailyNews.com.
They call me
Dr. Turtle Boy.
This is my preferred pronoun. Daddy.
What's up, Daddy?
Journalism Jesus. Timothy Kearney.
The one and only Turtle Boy.
Turtle Boy.
What's up, Slick?
The doctor is here.
This guy's a bad motherfucker.
That's right, the intro.
I've broken a lot of major stories. I've been doing it for about 11 years. I used to be a high school teacher.
Turtle Boy has changed a lot over the years. I was once a blogger, but now I'm much more accurately known as an award-winning journalist, a satirist, and an activist. Boom!
They're screaming your name here.
You're the crowd daddy.
Crazy. People either love me or hate me.
Listen, Turtle, all right?
But either way, they're watching.
Don't make such fun of the criminal justice system.
Stop it. I'm never gonna stop. This fight's just getting started. Now let's get this party started. There, we good? That better? All right, what's up, peeps? How's everybody doing? Welcome to my YouTube presentation. 8 o'clock, different time. Oh, I'm muted? No, I'm not muted right now, am I? I'm good now? I think we're good now. Anyway, guys, welcome. Let's make sure we're working there. Good, awesome, cool. All right, guys, welcome to the live show at 8 o'clock by special request. A lot of people have requested the 8 o'clock time start. Hold on. Agent O'Donnell, hold on. I see you there. This is my chance. I'm going to add new moderator. Good. You're a moderator now. Good. You're in. There's your wrench. Okay, cool. So anyway, guys, what's happening? Welcome to the live show. Usually we do this at, 9 o'clock, but people have requested 8, and it's kind of, I think it's fair. I'll allow it. Usually I used to go at 9 because like my kids would be, we try to put them to bed at 8, and then, 8:30 comes around and 9 o'clock they'd be passed out. But now like summer, it's like they stay up late, and they're in the Dominican Republic right now anyway. So it's gone. Turtle Boy's alone for the week. So, we're good. I can start whatever time I want, can't I? So, all right, cool. Anyway, welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. If it's your first time here, my name is Aidan Kearney. You can call me a variety of names if you'd like. Take your pick. You can do Turtle Boy. Some people just call me Turtle Boy, Uncle Turtle Boy. I prefer Dr. Turtle Boy, if I'm being perfectly honest, because, if the Jed Welcher gets to be a doctor, so do I. You can call me Daddy is acceptable, but also not mandated. I know it can be weird for some people, but also playful, fun, flirtatious for others. You can call me Crowd Daddy. Fridge Daddy is a thing now. Crowd Daddy, Fridge Daddy. Timothy Kearney, always an option. That's my true crime name. Or you can call me, Journalism Jesus, right? I don't care what you call me. Just be here every Tuesday and Saturday night. I used to say 9 o'clock, but I'm thinking about 8. I'm thinking about 8. We'll see how tonight goes, and if this is like a new thing, okay? And yeah, we can do that. So yeah, I'm the father of 3 children, 2 wonderful kids who went snorkeling today, and my 3rd child deceased. He lasted about 8 weeks in utero, and he was horrifically murdered in front of me. So I'm a survivor. That's what they call that. I witnessed a murder. I'm a witness. I was a witness to a murder. Actually, it happened right in front of my eyes, and there was nothing I could do about it. So yes, I am Clay Strong. Your hashtag Clay Strong here. I never thought I'd see the day where I have a fake baby that was fake aborted, and the whole world rallied behind me for that. Like, I never thought I'd see that day, but here we are. I run Turtle Boy, so stranger shit has happened. But anyway, guys, make sure you smash that subscribe button for me today. What are we up to for subs? Hold on, I'm just gonna text here. Okay, cool. Yep, it is confirmed. All right, cool. We are up to subscribers 163,689. So, we need 300 or so more people to hit the subscribe button. And how many people we got watching on YouTube right now? We got about 2,270 watching, just getting started. So go, a couple hundred you probably haven't smashed the subscribe button. So go and do that if you guys haven't done it already. If you guys want to have your messages read out loud to the class tonight, you can click at the link at the top for Turtle Chat. You can pay whatever amount of money you want. And did his glasses what the fuck disappeared? Why is that happening? Now it's going to bother me. This is a blue screen. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, yeah, you can click at the link at the top for Turtle Chat. You can write whatever you want, pay whatever you want, and I will read your message out loud to the class, and we can do it that way. Or you can cash at me at $ Uncle Turtle Boy, which is permissible. So I'll be reading those throughout the show. Why don't I start with a couple Turtle Chats just to get us started before I have a couple announcements? Oh, great. Hold on. I'm logged out. -WP. All right. Okay. Hold on. I'll deal with that later. Person texted me. Okay. All right. Let me read a couple of these. All right. So, all right. $10 here from the Cosgrove Institute of Technology. He says, even if this might be premature, good riddance, angry diva. Wishing you a miserable night of drinking alone in the garage. P.S. Please make sure to mention how Donna Adelson attempted to launder money, included literally putting it in the washing machine. That's laundry money, I think, because that is my favorite part of the case. So yes, let's address that first before we go anywhere. So, Kelly Deaver, I broke the news. That's what I do around here. Break news a little under 2 hours ago that sources within the Boston Police Department have told me that, or have reported to me, that Kelly Deaver resigned today. That Kelly Deaver went into the Jamaica Plain, the kiosk there, the district. I don't know, they have little outposts all over Boston. And that's where she was assigned out of, I guess. And she walked in there with her badge and her gun and said, I quit. And that was it. That's what I was told. And I was told this is highly unusual way to quit. Usually it's like a letter or, something that nobody just walks into their local precinct and says, here's my shit back. See you later. That is reportedly what she did. I have since reporting that gotten more confirmation from Boston police that this is in fact true. So more sources since I've published this, I've had more sources come forward and say this is in fact confirmed that Kelly Deaver has resigned from the Boston Police Department. So, I print a story like that when sources that I trust and sources that I know is a fact are tied to the Boston Police Department. I wouldn't, post something like that if it wasn't 100%, if I wasn't pretty sure of it. And these sources who I trust have said this, and I'm now getting more sources coming forward who are telling me confirmed. So this appears to be a legitimate story. And it makes sense when you think about it. And good fucking riddance. I just want to take a couple minutes just for Kelly Deaver, because I'm sure she's probably going to watch this if she's not watching now. Girl, you suck. Okay. First of all, you should come. What I would do if I were you, Kelly Deaver, is you got nothing to lose at this point, right? You might as well fucking talk about what you saw at the Canton Police Sally Port Garage, because that was not a false memory. There's no such thing as a false memory in which you randomly concoct this elaborate, detailed story in your head of two decorated dudes standing around a car on the day that John O'Keefe was found dead on Brian Albert's lawn. Okay? So you didn't, that was real. When you told the FBI that happened, that was the truth. And then you lied about it. And you know that you lied about it. Okay. Why you lied is a different story, but you definitely lied about it. And everyone in the country lied about it. You got up on that stand and you said that your job depends on how you do on the stand. You were right. That's the only true thing you said the whole day. Your job does, in fact, depend on that. And you failed. You failed miserably. Okay. You got up there and some of you people, you should have gone to like the Brian Albert School of how to lie on the stand and how to come across as somewhat believable. Because you and Bukkake, you went to the Bukkake School of testifying, where you just came across as arrogant, douchey, unlikable, cunty. Oh, I don't want to get demonetized. Okay. CUN Tuesday E. Okay. That's how you came across. And nobody liked you. Even Plevin was saying that you should not be a cop, because you shouldn't. Okay. Your whole story. And I just don't get why you did it. I don't get it, because you're fucking retarded, these people. I swear to God. You should have listened to me, Diva. You should have listened to me. 2 years ago, I went to Canton and I started knocking on doors, and I went on my show and I said, look, you don't have to be scared of the McAlberts anymore. Okay. I understand there was an element of, before Daddy came along, there was an element of fear in the town of Canton of the McAlberts. Like nobody wanted to fuck with them. Right. No, people were afraid if they talked. Everybody knew what happened inside Brian Albert's house. Everyone knew. Right. But nobody wanted to come forward because they felt like unsafe. Lucky Lochran was kind of like the prime example of that, where like Lucky did not want to talk at first. Right. And because even his bosses had told him, don't talk. You can't talk to anyone about this. Why not? Because the fear of losing his job, it was a strong thing. And so they kind of scared him into not discussing something that he should be able to openly discuss all he wants and tell the truth. There's nothing wrong with telling the truth, right? And some of those firefighters, Matthew Kelly wasn't afraid to tell the truth when he was on the stand. A couple others weren't either. But there was a lot, like the Sarah Levinsons of the world. I thought Julie Nagel was scared at first. I thought she was another one that was like kind of scared. But as it turns out, she's just a grizzled pig, and she's one of them. Like she's basically a de facto McAlbert. Whereas like I thought Sarah Levinson would be like a nurse. She would be inclined to tell the truth. She did not. Okay. And you could have, Kelly, there was nothing to be scared of. Like this whole thing about like, oh, I'm scared to tell the truth. Why? You could have been Nicholas Barros, but you chose to become Yuri Buchanan. And the problem with that is you don't work for the state police. Okay. You work for the Boston police. The state police, it's fucking real hard to lose your job. Real hard. Right. Whereas the Boston police, they will throw you under the bus real quick with the Boston police. Ask Shana Catoni. Okay. Who lost her job over the friggin' jab a couple of years ago. Right. So other, people, the Boston police will toss you real quick. Right. The state police aren't. So that's why Yuri Buchanan can get away with being a lying piece of shit. You can't, because you're Boston police, or you were Boston police. You're not anymore. Okay. So you got called up to Michael Cox's office, the commission. I understand that could be a little scary. First of all, how fucking retarded are you that you didn't ask for union representation at that? That is the stupidest. Imagine getting called up to the commissioner's office. You know why he's calling you up there. You know why he's calling. He's not calling you up there to tell you you're doing a good job. He's not. He's a liar. He didn't get to where he is in life by being honest. Like, you don't become a chief of a major police department by being honest, sadly, right? They're climbers, right? So he's calling you up there for a reason, and you should have known that if you didn't know that already. So you should have asked. I'm not going. I knew that as a teacher. I'm not going in. If the principal calls me down for some shit, and he's like, we need to talk about this. I'm like, yeah, I'm bringing the union rep with me. Okay. That's why you pay union dues, dear. You're supposed to, what are you doing? What are you doing? Get your shit together. So she goes into that office, and Michael Cox is sitting there, and he's like, apparently it's just the two of you. And, you knew what he was going to talk to you about, and he wanted to talk to you about your upcoming testimony. I don't know if he read the TUI report. I don't know if he read, because the TUI report said, it says in the TUI report, which came out in February of 2024, that you witnessed these two scumbags playing around with Karen Reed's car. Okay. Messing around with the taillight in an area they weren't supposed to be. That was big, man. That was big. Not big enough to indict them, apparently, but big nonetheless. Like, something's going on here. You said that to the feds. Why'd you say that to the feds? Because you're scared of the feds, right? Because you probably talked to a lawyer and said, don't lie to the feds, whatever you do. So you told them the truth. And then the TUI report comes out. And you're like, maybe Michael Cox read that. And I don't know what month he called you up to his office but Alan Jackson must have contacted you in, I think, April of 2024, because he liked what you said in the report. It was good. It was very helpful for his client because she's innocent. And he's like, well, we finally have an honest cop in Canton. We finally have somebody, and she doesn't work in Canton anymore. She has no reason to protect these scumbags, whatever. So maybe she'll tell the truth, but he was wrong. Once a Canton townie, always a Canton townie, because that's what you are. You're Canton townie trash. You're born in Canton. You lived in Canton. You're going to die in Canton. You're never leaving Canton. Okay. Because you wouldn't know how to survive out Canton. Like, you are Canton at your core. You are a townie. You're going to be at the hillside for the next 50 years. You're going to marry some mediocre dude. Okay. You're going to pump out a couple mediocre kids. They're going to play JV football, right? Your entire life is going to revolve around how much playing time each kid gets and why the coach isn't good enough. And the highlight of your week is going to the hillside. That's it. That's your life. Okay, Kelly, your life is destined. That's all and that's all you really wanted to be too. You didn't really have higher aspirations than that. That's it. Jamaica Plain is as far as you go. All right. So you get the job, right? And, you get called up to the office, and he's like, hey, we need you to, you're getting called in this test. You're getting called in this case. Maybe did he reference the testimony? Had he seen the TUI report? Because that's my question, Kelly. Why did he call you up there? Did he not like what was in the TUI report? I have so many questions for you. Did he not like what was in the TUI report? And did he confront you about that? Or did he just hear rumblings that you were going to testify and that was no good? Whatever. So he clearly told you, do the right thing. That even though you wouldn't admit that he said those words on the stand, Alan Jackson didn't pull that out of his ass. He got that from somewhere. That must be in some report or something. Okay. Tell the truth, right? Which you took as code, which correctly, that was what he was doing. He was not just, he wasn't interested in having you do the right thing. He wanted you to do what he thought was the right thing. So he told you she should interview. Kelly Deaver, if you're out there, you have a shot of redemption. You do. Because your reputation right now sucks. And for the rest of your life, you're going to be the diva. That's it. The diva beaver. That's you. Wherever you go in life, people are like, oh, there's diva. There's diva. There she is right there. There's the chick with an attitude. The liar. That's what you're going to be known at forever. You wanted to be a townie and impress Jill Daniels, I guess. And so you lied for them. And you could have told the truth. You could have gotten up there and told the truth, and you could have been see the crowd here, all these people, everybody liked Karen Reed. Everybody wanted Karen Reed to be free. Everybody likes me. You sided with people that are international villains who are bringing you nowhere in life. Like, they're not going to, I mean, there's only so many rounds they could buy you at the hillside there. So you underestimated, you picked the wrong team. You know what I mean? You got it. But I would say it's not too late. I would say that Kelly Deaver has a chance at redemption. That Kelly Deaver, if she came forward and said what really happened, okay, what she actually witnessed, tell the same thing you told the feds. Tell the world what you told the feds. Okay, you have a real chance. Well, you're one of the rare people in this whole thing who has a shot at like redemption. No, none of the others do. Jen McCabe has to lie. She's got no shot at redemption. Brian Albert, Colin Albert, they have to keep lying. Okay, you can tell the truth because you weren't in on the murder. You're unique. You don't go to jail if you tell the truth. And you can be like, you could have Michael. If you understand Kelly Deaver, if you came forward and told the truth now about what happened, that the chief of police in Boston would be arrested for witness intimidation. Do you understand that? That you could fuck them over? Because guess what, bitch? They threw your skanky ass under the bus. He couldn't wait to do it. He said, Kelly Deaver, never heard of her before. Oh, wait. No, yeah, I brought her up here for a little pep talk, a little encouragement. That's what we do. Do you think he brought in any of the heroes of do you think they called up any of the heroes of the Boston Marathon bombing up to Ed Davis's office to talk? Do you think he brought them up? No, that's not what happens. Okay. You don't get called up to the commissioner's office. Stop it. There's thousands of BPD cops. No one's getting called up except you. Your skanky ass getting called up there. And you did what you thought would help you keep your job, but it didn't. They sold your ass out. And Alan Jackson last month files some letter telling the Post Commission to put your bitch ass on a Brady list. And you know what the union did? You know where Larry Calderon and the Boston Police Union was? Do you know where Michael Cox was? You know where they were? Fucking selling your ass out. They used and abused you. That's it. You're just like Kerry Roberts and them not getting their phone calls returned from the DA's office. They're done with you. You lost. You fucked up. You were ineffective. You lied for them, but you didn't do a good job lying. You were supposed to do a good job lying and convince people, and you couldn't do it. You couldn't pull it off, but you have a chance of redemption. You have a chance to come forward and come on the Turtle Boy live show. And so this is my official information to you, Kelly Deaver. Okay. To come, think of it. Think of the ratings, Kelly. You come on, it'll be bigger than when I had Jackson on. Okay. We will have like 100,000 live viewers on here. If you come on the show and you come clean. Okay. And this isn't trying to get you to change your testimony or witness intimidation. None of that, because your testimony's done. Right. So you come on here and you give your testimony to Turtle Boy, the Turtle Boy testimony, right? It's not under oath, whatever. And I'll give you half of all Turtle chats that day. Okay. I will. Because I know you probably need the money now because you're not getting any more overtime gigs or whatever. They were paying you a lot of money at BPD. I know that. So come on the show, Kelly. Okay. Come on here. Talk to Daddy. This is a safe space. And guess what? everyone's going to like you after that. I can revive your reputation. I can make you likable again because everybody hates you right now. And I don't want everyone to hate you. I want everyone to like you. Right. But you got to tell the truth, Kelly. You got to tell the truth. And what I want to know, because I got questions for you, Kelly. I want to know, you testified that you had it had to be a false memory because you said that, well, I left that day at 3:45. So it couldn't have happened at 5:30 or whatever the fuck they got there. It couldn't have happened. Right. And, you could have done that, but my question for you is, who told you that you left at 3:45? Where did that come from? Because you didn't just suddenly remember that you left at 3:45 that day. Someone had, and when they told you that you left at 3:45, did they show you any evidence of that? Did they say, whatever? And look, we're a forgiving crowd over here. We know you can be the hero. We need a hero. Okay. The story needs, I wouldn't say hero, it's a bit strong, but somebody that can redeem themselves and come clean. We're so much cooler than the McAlberts. We can't, and trust me, I'm more well-liked in Canton. I am. So there's that. I'm the mayor. So, come on down, right? Get your ass down here and, come on, daddy. And we can have a great time. But all right. So that's what I got to say to Kelly Deaver. It's legit. Breaking news. You heard it here first. Okay. Next turtle chats is from Billy, sends $5 and goes, I have also had no luck getting a decent lobster roll down the Cape this summer. Yeah, I got 2 and they weren't that great. I thought they would be like the most amazing lobster. It's like the Cape. It's supposed to have the best lobster. I mean, it's like I've had better. They weren't that good, but keep trying. Keep trying. All right. Claire sends $25 and says, hey, happy Tuesday, Doc. With the time change of your show, I get to catch part of it before heading to class. Any chance the show at the Wilbur Theater will be recorded if there won't be a live stream? Much love and support from your biggest fan in Arizona. Yeah, there will be. I'm sure that we will have a camera in there recording it. I just have to figure that out. Who's going to do that? If the documentary crew will probably be there. But yeah, if we don't have a live stream, it will definitely be recorded. So get your tickets, man. I mean, how many tickets are left? Let's see. They send me these reports twice a day about how many tickets are sold. Where'd it go? Let's see what we got here. All right. Last I saw, we have sold 623 tickets. 623 tickets, which means there's a little over 400 remaining. So, that's over 60%, folks. So get your tickets if you haven't already. It's going to be an awesome night. I think it's a little over 3 weeks away. I can't wait. So there's that. All right, cool. Next up, we have Sarah sends $69. Interesting. And she says, okay, I'm reading this because I have to read the chats. I'm not making this up. I'm not paying myself $69 to say this. Okay. So Sarah says, when you're acquitted on all charges, can we get a shirtless stream, please? And thank you. I don't know. It's not a good lighting in here, first of all. And maybe, I don't know, maybe that's a long, can we get there first? Can I get acquitted on all charges first? And then we'll see what happens. I don't know. But anyway, I read it. That was pretty PG-13. I get it, but I'm not writing these to myself. I promise. Okay. Next up. All right. Next. Yeah. I need to get some color. That's the thing. I need some color if that's going to happen. I could paint myself blue. I could do that. All right. Next up. Deaver at the Wilbur. That'd be a good one. Mama sends $5 and goes, Deaver card. Yeah, someone send her a card. Gwen sends $25 and goes, "Hello, handsome turtle. I wrote to you last week and told you my husband and I are flying to Boston from Houston to see your show as we celebrate our 37th wedding anniversary. The following morning, your tickets went on sale. I went to the Wilbur website early, and the second they went on sale, I purchased first row VIP tickets. It's official now. Flight tickets, hotel reserved, and most importantly, Turtle Boy Live at the Wilbur tickets. I'm so excited to be celebrating our anniversary in Boston with you and Auntie Deb. I can't wait to meet you, Gwen. It's going to be awesome. What a way to spend your 37th anniversary. So I really, really appreciate that. Next, Diane sends $25, goes, "Listen, Turtle, we have a chat rat suit ready for you. Come over, come on down at Rat House Media." I don't know what that means. What's a chat rat? Okay, thank you. Karen sends $10, goes, "I've enjoyed watching your content and have become a fan of your journalism. Your multifaceted approach to delivering quality, in-depth reporting, as well as engage with your audience, is absolutely the best in the game. Much love and respect." Okay, is that AI? Is that an AI dono? That might be my first AI dono. I didn't know they had those things, but I'm just kidding. I appreciate that. That was really nice of you. All right, cool. Next. Yeah, get your tickets, man. Get them. Don't wait. Don't wait till it gets sold out. Get them in now. I think we got a couple cash apps here. Let's see what we got for cash apps. All right. First, we got Naomi sends $5 and says, "Another good idea for the Wilbur show, red carpet and spotlight for you and Auntie Deb." Boy, I like that. That's a good idea. Not too shabby. Thank you, Naomi. Fat McAlbert sends $10 and goes, "Can you get LTL's video of Enrique?" Let me address that in 1 second after we read this other one. Julie sends $10, goes, "Deaver's satchel of Richard's fund." Okay, I don't get that. So about the Enrique thing, let me just briefly address that because I don't want to spend time on it or anything. You guys might have seen last night ever since we talked about this, the Jess Machado BLT thing the other night, it expanded to the Glare got involved. He's got issues. He did a petty stream the other day about it where he aired his grievances, and I encourage BLT to go on there and hash it out with them, because that's what the people want. They want that. People like drama as long as they're not in the drama. You know what I mean? So it would have been good. And I'm like, you got to defend yourself. You got to, or just share your side. I don't know, because I want to like BLT. Like I said, he's raised money for me and helped keep my channel going during the break. Okay. When I was in jail. But to be in this line of work, man, he's got 53 or 54,000 subs. Like, congratulations. You got a big audience, right? But when that happens, people are going to come at you. People are going to criticize you, and you got to be able to handle it. You got to be thick skinned in this line of work, and you got to be able to back up what you're saying, and you can't be sensitive, and you can't worry about other people, right? What they're doing. Like, for instance, like when shows go live together at the same time, because this is apparently one of the causes of contention. So they went on JFK's stream last night, and Will was on there with BLT, and JFK and James Jackson did a great job moderating this, and they started airing their grievances out with each other. It was, I found it. I woke up to this morning, didn't know it happened. It was fascinating. And apparently the BLT, he was mad. One of the things he was upset about, because he didn't just block Will, he blocked Nurse Kim and Auntie Deb. And he asked them about that last night, about why'd you do that? And apparently his beef was over Nurse Kim going live with Bettero at the same time that he did, which he took as like a personal front, like he was insulting, like a shot at him or something like that. And so I told him, I'm like, look at guy, like, first of all, you guys have heard me on the show before make jokes about that. Like, when Bettero is like, I've started streams before where Bettero will be on the Young Jerks or whatever at the same time. Okay. And when that happens, I lose the ratings war. Like I usually get the most views, right? But except when Bettero's on something, like I can't compete with Bettero. Like everybody wants Bettero. So if he's on with another content creator, I'm gonna lose that one. And I'm okay with that because Mark Bettero is the man. And I understand that. So like I get it. And I also don't care about views, like, because I know that you're going to watch it on the replay, right? Or when Bettero's interviews over, you're all going to come here. Like it's fine. Like for instance, right now, I believe, like I talked to Bob Mata about this. He's doing an interview with David Yannetti right now. And, you know, he's like, we talked about it earlier. He's like, oh, I'm going live at 7:30. And I said, oh yeah. Like, you know, I do mine at a little earlier than I thought. I go, but it's just what my audience wanted. And I go tomorrow night. If I was like, okay, if I scheduled my show around David Yannetti going on Bob Mata's show, then I'd have to go tomorrow night. And that's a problem because Bettero's back tomorrow, right? Or no, David Yannetti's back and he's going on Nurse Kim's tomorrow night. So it's like, no matter when you go on, you're going to be up against someone else. And you just have to not care. Okay. You can't, it's not a shot. Like we're not in competition with each other. It is what it is. We got to get, you know what I mean? You got to get thick skinned about that. You can't let that bother you. And then we talked about the Enrique Delgado-Garcia thing. And I made a whole long tweet about it today. And check that out. If you guys haven't seen it, I'll just bring it up here. All right. One sec. Oh, that's me being arrested. All right. Listen, Boomer. No, that's not one. Hold on. Here it is. Okay. All right. So, as I said here in my little post here, I said, I want to be clear about the Enrique Delgado-Garcia story because facts are important. I spoke with some Worcester EMTs back in December who told me that Enrique had a brain aneurysm, right? Which apparently you can I didn't know anything about brain aneurysm. You can have this without knowing, apparently, until it ruptures. Like for instance, a hit to the head could cause it to rupture. So that's like, you know, that could cause that. I did not know that. Apparently it's like you can have a brain aneurysm without even knowing about it, which is fucking scary. Like when you think about it, you're like, it's like he just walked into there and went to a boxing match and like he was just, you know, could have easily died, you know, like without even knowing it. So it says, goes on to say, I don't know this 100% as a fact, of course, because I have not seen an autopsy report. I have just been told this. To be clear, my source on this are Worcester EMTs who were not there, did not take part in the life-saving efforts of Enrique Delgado-Garcia, but who work with other EMTs who were there. And this is what they've said. Okay. So this is that the strongest source ever? No, but I'm being upfront about what my source is. That's what I was told. And quite frankly, that makes sense. Okay. Goes on to say, since Enrique died, and the way that it was told to me too, was like the person who told me this was like kind of looking out for me, like kind of telling me like, you don't want to jump on this one. You don't want to like make this your thing because it's not going to end the way you want. Like they were looking out for me is what I'm saying about it, like how they responded to that. So anyway, goes on to say, since Enrique died, his death has been lumped in with the Justice for John O'Keefe movement, suggesting yet another cover up by the state police. Okay. So, and that's I don't like when people lump shit in. I said the same thing about the Justin Root thing. Cause these things are all very different. Okay. And I never liked how they kind of just lumped everything together. Okay. First of all, Enrique Delgado-Garcia is not Norfolk County. So it's inconsistent with our general statement here about the Norfolk County DA's office being the problem. It's Worcester County. And, you know, sure. Like the lack that there were not, it did kind of get lumped into with it. You know, it did kind of get lumped in, like, and I guess that's the state police's problem, because they've lost so much trust with the public that people just don't trust anything they say now, you know? But anyway, and people are like, well, why hasn't any of this stuff been released? Well, I think because has a lawsuit been filed yet? If so, that would explain it. Like, if you're being sued for wrongful death, you're not going to admit to wrongful death, are you? Like that, I don't know. It seems kind of common sense. I don't know, but maybe there's something more to this. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope not. That would be crazy, but it says anyway, but John O'Keefe was murdered and the evidence in his case was covered up. If Enrique wasn't murdered, then it's irresponsible to say that we want justice for him, because it implies that he was also murdered and that the murder was also covered up. See what I'm saying? The whole justice thing. When you hear justice, you're like, well, some injustice has occurred, right? We want to correct that. It's taking advantage of the justified distrust that many of us have with the state police due to their actions in the O'Keefe case. Their stories are not even close to being the same. There is a tape of Enrique's final moments, and the state police are not hiding that. And that was one of the first things that people told me, like, dude, there's a tape of this. I'm like, there's a tape of it? I found that out in December too. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, so if a murder occurred on tape, it's like, bro, like the whole thing with the Kearney thing was, it was a cover up. They didn't want you to see the tapes. Tom Kelleher's house had a freaking camera pointed directly at where the murder allegedly occurred, and nobody got the tape. Gallagher took his word for it that, oh yeah, that didn't get anything. Oh yeah, we don't need to look at it. Right. Okay. Goes on to say, Tom Kelleher had a camera pointed at Albert's house. His flagpole and the video was intentionally destroyed. I spoke with Brian LTL on the phone the other night, and he told me he had the video but couldn't share it. Now, this is in dispute. He has since said that he never said this. This is why I like text, and maybe it was on the phone, this conversation. I heard what I heard. That's what I heard. I had another conversation with him today about it. He's like, I didn't say that. I'm like, you did. And it's just, we're getting nowhere with this. But I heard what I heard. He said he had a tape. Regardless, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because he saw the tape. And that's what we're going to get to here. So he goes, but he couldn't share it. I spoke with him again in the morning, and he says he never told me that, but he had seen the video and had screenshots of it. I have no way to prove he said that to me, but it doesn't really matter because he's seen it either way, which is really important to see that tape, right? So he told me that he saw so how did he see it then? This is what he says, that he was on a Zoom with his source. So that means somebody with access, his reporting he's made enough noise with this that someone with access reached out to him. So that's good, right? That's reporting, right? When you got sources coming forward and showing you that shit. But now you got to report on it. You know what I mean? Like, Karen Reed was my source for a lot of shit. For instance, she showed me the 911 call before it happened. She showed me the dash cam footage before it was aired. I'd seen all that, and I leaked it. It's like it got out. Like, I made sure I wasn't the first one to post it, but it got out there. Okay. And because like you can only sit on that shit for so long. You can only sit on, and with Karen Reed, it's like if I had posted it on my own, they'd be like, well, you got that from her. Who else could you get that from? Whereas with Brian LTL, there's a lot of different people you could say that you got it from. You know what I mean? So there's that. Anyway, so he goes on to say, I go on to say rather, regardless, I told him if he watched the tape and if it was indeed a murder, then as a reporter, he should report that. I asked him if, based on what he saw, he believed it was a murder. He said no. So I thought that was big because, he's seen more than I have. And again, if he possesses the tape or he's seen the tape, what's the diff, right? The only diff, I guess, is he can't share the tape if he no longer has it in his possession. But if he's seen the tape, he's a reporter. I mean, he's an eyewitness testimony to it now. And as a reporter, you got to, how can you not talk about that? If I would have told the source, I would have been like, why the fuck are you showing me this if I can't talk about it? I'm a reporter. Like, what do you want me to say? It goes on to say, I go, if that's the case, then what is this justice for Enrique thing all about? It sounds like the state police are in line for a major lawsuit that will pay Enrique's family millions of dollars because he did in fact die in their care and he had shown signs that he shouldn't keep fighting. And that's another thing BLT told me, is like that he watched the tape and that Enrique kind of he gets hit down once and then he gets back up, and I don't know if he was, I'd have to see it, but that the day before he had reported that he was hurting, his head was hurting or something like that. I don't know. Again, I need more information. But even all that stuff, even with all that stuff, guys, like that's not murder. I don't, not even close. Like, I don't know where does the murder part come in? And that's why I thought this whole thing was weird to say it's a murder to begin with, because like it happened in front of all those people. Remember Sean on the golf was like, it's a murder. He'd reached that conclusion within 5 seconds. He goes, that makes them civilly liable, but not murderers. If this was really a case of a man with a pre-existing condition that no one knew about, and the state police allowed him to keep fighting even after he'd shown signs that he was not well, then justice in this case is going to come in the form of a check, not a prison sentence. I could be completely wrong. Months ago, it was reported that a grand jury was convened on this. So that's the other side of the coin, right? It was in the Globe that there's a grand jury reporting, and the family's got a lawyer named Lou Aloisi. I don't know. He's a big shot attorney around here in the Worcester County area. But anyway, in fact, if there's a grand jury, then that would seem that they're investigating a crime, right? They want someone charged. Ultimately, that's why they do a grand jury, right? Because they ask for indictment to be granted. But again, this is where the reporting comes in, because I have spent hardly any time on this. I haven't had time, but others have. And it's like, if you want to be a reporter with this, you got to find out, where's the grand jury? First of all, in what courthouse? That's my first question. In what courthouse? Is it Worcester Superior Court? Is that where it is? Because that would be Worcester County, and that's where somebody would be indicted if the state was bringing charges. Or is it at Uncle Joe's house? Or perhaps is in Worcester, U.S. District Court, because there was a district courthouse in Worcester for the United States. So I don't know. Like, there's a lot of places this could be happening, and that seems relevant. And BLT also told me that he has the name of the cadet. He's got the name of the cadet that fought Enrique. But to be honest with you, I don't really care. Honestly, I feel bad for that guy, whoever that is. It's not his fault. He's in training too. You know, to me, it sounds like if worst case scenario, what happened here was that Enrique should be alive today because proper safety protocols were not adhered to by the supervisors in who his life was entrusted, right? Which is not a crime. You don't go to jail for that. Sorry. Like you lose your house for that, but you ain't going to jail for that. Okay. So, you know, a little misleading, I thought, to say that like he's murdered. A lot misleading. But then I go, this is where reporting comes in. I go, I like Brian. Okay. And I want him to succeed. He has made the Enrique story a big part of his journalism and online identity. And he has. It's kind of become his thing. You know, he put the billboard up and, you know, Justice for Enrique, and he's kind of taken that on. Like that's his baby there. Like because I haven't really gone into that story at all. But he made the Enrique story a big part of his journalism and online identity, and he's alleged that this was a cover-up. He even put up a billboard demanding justice and has called the Delgado family to fire their attorney and hire Bradel or Yannetti. And that was a bold move. It was a couple weeks ago. He posted that he's not satisfied with, he doesn't think that there's enough urgency from the family's attorney and that he should step aside, and then he tagged Bradel and Yannetti and said that they should take over, which I did not like. Because we don't know what if you're not like, their attorney's a really well-known attorney around here. I can always pronounce this guy's last name. It's like, I think it's Lou Alois or Aloisi, or I don't know. I've seen this guy a million times before. He does a lot of really big name defendants around here. Let's just put it that way. Okay. And so like, he's the kind of guy that, if this was, he's like the David Yannetti, I guess, of Worcester County. He's a big name. Okay. And so to suggest that like he is not good enough shows a lack of understanding of who he is and what his reputation is. And like, saying that Federo or Yannetti should take over, it's like, that to me just came across as like, well, those are two attorneys that all the Kearney people are going to know, and it's like, I don't want to say celebrity attorneys, but like well-known attorneys in our world. That doesn't mean that they alone can handle this and no one else can. You know what I mean? So like, that wasn't cool. And especially when we don't know what this attorney's like. Trust me, this is a good attorney. Like, they're in good hands. Okay. It goes on to say, but reporting means finding out answers, not just asking questions. Okay. The story seems to revolve around the state police instructors, and no one has any idea what their names are. Brian says a lot that he has questions. Good. That's a good start. Questions are important. We should never, blindly accept anything. It's very healthy to have questions and to look into things. Okay. But the key to asking questions is the next step is to find answers. And I told him that you got to find answers. And if you're actually committed to this case and you want to find everything, it's been a year. Find out the name of the state police instructors. I guarantee people know who they are. It's not a secret. You can find that out. Okay. But no one knows who they are. They're at least publicly. I'm sure some people don't know who they are, but you can find that out. But that's where the work comes in. That's the hard part, is the sources. Finding shit out. Building a network of sources up is a big part of reporting. And you got to find out who these people are. Okay. You got to knock on doors. You got to call people. You got to email people. You can't take no for an answer. You got to find people in the state. You got to have one friend in the state police, right? Who might know someone. And then can you get in touch with them? This is how it works. God, you can get it done. He can do it. I believe in him. I go, if he can find out, contact them, ask questions, find people in their orbit, and probe the story like it deserves to be probed, then he might find the answers. I'm rooting for him. I said, I have nothing negative to say about Brian. He has been gracious to me and helped me raise money for my legal defense fund. Okay. So this is what some of these ding-dongs have said on Twitter and stuff like that. Oh, he did so much for Turtle Boy, not Turtle Boy slapping him, is attacking him. I'm not attacking anything. That's not an attack. Because I made some comment on Twitter. I said something about like, yeah, this is some Sean of the Gulf shit. Like, and I go, but that's my professional criticism of him. It's nothing personal. Okay. Brian's making a healthy amount of money, I'm sure, or a healthy, decent living doing YouTubing. Okay. And he's built up a big audience and he brands himself as a media investigator or whatever. So with that, comes responsibility. In expectations and critique. Like if it's like when you if you want to make the New England Patriots and you keep dropping balls, well, you're not fast enough. People are going to be like, yeah, that's cool. Yeah. You're just, nope, not good enough anymore. Like they want performance. That's what people want. You're on stage now. People aren't following you because you're a nice guy. They're following you because they want performance. Okay. They want you to give them something they don't know. That's why they're following you. And so that's what you got to do for people. And he says, and I said that, with the money thing, with the raising money thing, it's like, I want to be perfectly clear about this, that I would not have accepted any money if there were strings attached. I don't do that. I hate that shit. Somebody did something nice for you, and so you can't criticize them ever again. No, that's why I don't like that, because you're inauthentic. That's why I don't have sponsors. Because if I had sponsors and one of their businesses did something shady, it's like I couldn't write about them. Yeah, it's like I don't want to be beholden to anyone because of some financial agreement, right? I don't like that. I would not have accepted any of that money if I thought that there were strings attached. And I think to have it thrown in my face like that, it's like, well, is that why it was done? Just to keep the goodwill? Like, I hope not. I don't think he would do that, but so there we go. And I said, but the fact of the matter is the Enrique story is a big story that he's made strong allegations about. And I have to be authentic in my opinions about it. I can't let the fact that Brian's raised money for me alter what I think or say about the Enrique story. I never would have accepted the money under those conditions. So there's that. So that's all I got to say about that. The personal stuff between him and Will, hopefully they can figure that out. But again, I like Brian. Seems like a nice guy. I'm rooting for him. And there's that. All right. So, next up. Oh yeah, one more thing here. The Francis Gigliotti thing. So a lot of people are talking about, so JFK on his show last night was talking about Francis Gigliotti, is that, or Gigliotti? And he's the guy that was killed in Haverhill by the police about a month ago. Like George Floyd style, like 7 cops were on top of him and he stopped breathing. All right. And, so I have not touched that story. A lot of people have messaged me about it, and they've also messaged me a lot about the Kelsey Fitzsimmons story. Kelsey Fitzsimmons is the North Andover cop who is a little confusing. She got shot and arrested by her own police department. She's a police officer in North Andover who got shot by the North Andover police while serving a restraining order on her that the father of her young baby had gotten. And it's a complicated story, I guess. And so she allegedly brandished a gun and according to the police, pointed it at them, I think. I don't want to spread misinformation. That's what they allege. When the cops came to serve the order, and she got shot. And she has since been charged with, is it attempted murder? She got some heavy charges. I forget what she was. But both Gigliotti's family and Kelsey Fitzsimmons have hired celebrity attorney Tim Bradle. Okay. And it's kind of what he's become. Like, because of my case, he's gotten so much attention in my case that he's become like the first guy on the Rolodex for the people out there who feel like they are, the police are problematic or whatever. And so I'm not touching those stories. And here's why. Because you can't trust my reporting on it. And my reputation is everything. So suppose I write a story and I'm like, Kelsey Fitzsimmons is completely innocent. And, the North Andover police are the bad guys, and her baby daddy's a bad guy. And, she's completely innocent. Who the fuck's going to believe me? Who you're going to be like, well, you're just saying that because it's Bradle's girl. Okay. Or if I say that, Francis, or his name, Francis Gigliotti, Mr. Gigliotti, he was, the police are completely in the wrong there. They should be charged, name names, all that stuff. Okay. You'd be like, yeah, you're just saying that because Bradle represents the family. So I'd have no credibility. Whereas, like, if I looked into those cases, which I haven't, and I was like, well, actually, I agree with the police that Kelsey Fitzsimmons is guilty. If I say something like that, then I'm undermining my lawyer. So I can't do that. So, like, either way, I lose. So this is what's called a conflict of interest. I can't do it. and blame my celebrity attorney. He's too famous now. He keeps getting called by high profile people. So it is what it is. So, anyway, Aidan recruiting better than better. Yeah. Let me just read. So now we're going to get into the Adelsons. And that's my show's about tonight. Let me just read a couple turtle chats here, then we'll get started. Okay. Sometimes these are funny. Okay. Eileen sends $10 and says, if Deaver comes on your show, you need to give her a free Turtle Boy shirt to wear. Absolutely. She can have whatever she wants. Kelly Deaver, we hate you right now, but we could love you real quick too. So that'd be cool. Erica sends $5, goes, listen, Turtle, make sure you have good lighting at the Wilbur because your YouTube presentation lighting deserves a spot in Ratchet Madness. Shots fired. Yikes. I do need to work on that. We'll see. All right. Next. Lisa sends $100. Thanks, Lisa. And she says, stay who you are. Fuck everything else. From the shore of the Gulf of America, we love you. Thank you very much from the Gulf of America. We love you too down there. Appreciate it. 7-pounder, my guy, sends $10, goes, you've made quite the career of exposing state police corruption. Will you continue exposing corruption locally, or is the plan to go national? I will take whatever story presents itself to me, 7-pounder. I don't really have a plan. I'm getting the Adelsons are next, so I suppose that would be national. But we'll see. I'll take the stories as they come. I think what people really want from me are like the investigative stories, which a lot of them are local, but I can also do, if it's just a matter what shows up in my inbox, whatever shows up in my inbox, I read them all. I don't get back to most people, but I do read them all. So there's that. Kate sends $10, goes, I can understand why Kelly lied on the stand. Mass doesn't have a good repertoire of holding the lives of their cops in high esteem. Don't know what that means. I don't get it, but thank you for the $10. I appreciate that. Okay, cool. All right, cool. Let me see if we have any cash apps here. Do we? No, we're good. Okay, cool. All right. If anyone else wants their messages read, link is at the top for Turtle Chat, or you can cash at me at $ Uncle Turtle Boy. Okay. So I want to put a little poll up right now to get this started. Let's see where we're at. About how many of you are familiar with the Adelson? So I guess I want to. All right. All right. So three options here, right? How familiar with the Adelson case are you? Very familiar, moderately familiar, or not familiar at all? Last time I saw the Glairer and we went out for a meal of food together, I was telling him about the Adelson story. I just kind of assumed he knew because he's a YouTuber. He didn't know shit about Adelson. And so I'm like, well, I tried to break it down. I ran out of time. I'm like, so I can't assume that, So let me see what people are saying. All right, let's see. All right. The poll says 37% very familiar, 35% moderately familiar, 28% not all. So that's good. So we can do a little crash course in Adelson tonight. So jury selection today started in the Donna Adelson murder trial. She is the matriarch of the Adelson clan of Miami, Florida. And there's a whole bunch of them. And let's just do it. Let's get it takes some time. Does anybody know how long, if they chose, how many jurors they chose today in that case? I don't even know why she's bringing it to trial. There's no fucking. This is not going to end the way that Karen Reed did. I'll tell you. Spoiler alert: she's going to be convicted. Like, it's a guarantee. She's definitely going to be convicted. And she's, in this case, we're not rooting for the defendant. At least I'm not. I've never once heard of a Donna Adelson stand, although I heard there was one that went on Auntie Deb's YouTube presentation. I could be wrong about that, but she's fucked. She's completely fucked. You know, no shot she skates. But anyway, let's what day is opening statements? Friday is opening statements. They're gonna have a jury by Friday. Wow. I thought with this case it was gonna be very hard, but all right. So let me pull up this thing here. Let's see. All right. So this is no, don't need that. That's screwed up. All right. So this is Dan Markel and his ex-wife, Wendi Adelson. And I don't know what year this picture was taken, but it was before 2014 because that's when he died. And that's one of their two boys. They had two boys together. He was a Florida State law school professor, and Florida State is in Tallahassee, which is basically Alabama. It's not regular Florida. It's, it's peninsula or whatever, Panhandle, Florida, right? It's like probably a 7-hour drive from Miami, which is ultimately what caused the problems in this relationship. So there's Wendi. Wendi is also an attorney and a bit of a freak and a bit of a see you next Tuesday. And so there she's one of the only, her and her dad are the only ones that haven't been arrested so far. Well, actually her brother too. So this is, there's Wendi. That's Donna Adelson. Okay. This is Charlie Adelson, her older brother. She's the youngest of three. He's the middle one. And that's Harvey Adelson. And he's a pediodontist, I think it's called. It's like a fancy word for a dentist. And the dad is also, I believe, into teeth. Anyway, they got a shitload of money, right? They're doing really well for themselves, cleaning a whole bunch of teeth down there, flossing it up, getting your teeth nice and white. They got a lot of money. Okay. So that's them. And this is them when they're younger. So this is Harvey, Donna, Wendi, Charlie, and I forget this one's name. Is it Rob? What the hell is the older Adelson brother's name? He's out of the picture. He's completely estranged from them because his family's bonkers, and he realized that he's the only one that got the fuck out. All right. Robert, that's what it was. Yeah. And so Robert does not talk to anyone else in the family. Why? Because he wanted to marry a woman who was not Jewish. So this is a weird thing. So Donna Adelson, the Adelsons are Jewish, but I don't know if it's just like culturally Jewish or like actually really Jewish. I know Joel's going to get mad at me for even broaching the topic of Judaism. You're going to get real mad. But to me, there is a difference between people who just like to celebrate Hanukkah and get a whole bunch of presents and have a bar mitzvah, and the people that go to temple every Saturday, right? And don't drive cars on Friday nights that like lived in my neighborhood in Newton Square, like the real Jews that like didn't fuck around and they had the curls on the side. Those are like the real Jews, real gang, like old school Jews. Okay. As opposed to just, the ones that, like the Adelson Jews. Like there is, I don't know. I'm so nervous to talk about Jews because of Joel. I never know what Joel's going to do next. I'm trying to tell, I'm not anti-Semitic. I'm just telling you there's a difference between Jews. Okay. Not all Jews are the same. Anyway, so he wanted to marry a Hindu woman, I believe. And so his mom was like, no, you have to marry a Jew. Okay. And he's like, screw you. He doesn't talk to him anymore. And so now the youngest there, Wendi, mom was like wicked controlling. And she got Wendi, she wanted him to meet a nice Jew. And Dan Markel is Jewish. Okay. And so she hooked them up. Later on, apparently, she had her kids, they had the kids dress up as Hitler to piss off Dan because he's Jewish. So I guess they're not as Jewish as Dan Markel. I guess that's how it works. I don't fucking know. Okay. A little confusing to me. I'm not an expert on all things Adelson. Okay. So anyway, in 2014, Dan Markel drops his kids off at daycare, his two boys. So he's getting divorced, and the divorce is ugly. And custody is a real issue here. So he's got the kids, he drops them off at daycare, and I believe goes to the gym, and then pulls into his garage, gets out, and two guys come up and murder him in a Prius of all things. They're in a goddamn Prius. Don't you hate that? And it is unknown who these gentlemen are initially. 2 years later, there's an arrest. Okay. And it's a guy by the name of Sigfredo Garcia, another gentleman by the name of Luis Rivera. All right. And they're both in prison right now. And Luis Rivera was a known member of the Latin Kings, you know, and it's just like these guys did this. Like, it's crazy. So I'm going to show you here how they kind of got caught. So this is Luis Rivera testifying at the trial of Charlie Adelson.
Who's pictured in this exhibit, Mr. Rivera?
That's me and Garcia.
Who's that in the foreground, closer to the camera?
That's me, I'm the driver.
Okay. 42, please. Who's that in the passenger seat?
Garcia.
43, please. And 44. Did you and Sigfredo Garcia go out that night when you got back to Miami?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you remember where you went?
I think we went to a bar.
Was Catherine Magbanua with you that night?
No, I don't think so.
Do you know where she went that night?
No, I don't know.
All right. The next morning, is that when you saw her again?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Tell us what happened the next morning.
The next morning I woke up, I went to the barbershop, and she went to my house and took the money.
She had the money at your house?
Yeah.
And did you go home and get it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you go home?
So he is testifying right now against Charlie Adelson. Okay. Because as you're going to see, they get tied into this. Because obviously this guy, I mean, look at this guy. This guy didn't just come along and be like, yo, I'm going to kill some law school professor from Florida State. Fuck that motherfucker. Yo, he owed me money. He was talking shit. No, this is obviously, this guy was clearly hired to do this. He's a gang member, right? He doesn't give a fuck. Obviously, this guy got hired to do this. And why would they do that? Okay. Well, he got paid by a woman by the name of Catherine Magbanua, and a spicy little Filipino broad who, I'll show you her. This is a picture of her. There she is. She's on the left there, and that's Wendi. Okay. And there she is in prison with her meet an inmate thing, you know. So she was, you know, Charlie had a lot of broads. He had a lot of gumas. And as it turns out, this is one of his gumas. So he's got a little girlfriend there. He was big into Asian women. And she apparently, her baby daddy was Sigfredo Garcia, one of the two guys who killed Dan Markel, right? Who had no ties to him whatsoever. But as it turns out, Catherine Magbanua has ties to the killers. And she also has ties to the Adelsons because she's banging Charlie Adelson. So now she's kind of the glue that brings them together. So this is what he's talking about here, how he would get paid by her.
What's the purpose?
The purpose is to pick that money up.
Yeah. Why were you worried about the money?
I was worried about my baby mama taking it.
You were worried about your baby mama taking it?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that Jessica, the one we saw in the
Yes, ma'am.
photo? So if she'd seen that money.
If she would have seen it, she would have liked it.
Okay.
But she never seen it.
How much money was in there?
37. I think it was 35, 35.
35,000. And how was it packaged?
All 100 staples.
All $100 bills?
Yes, ma'am.
And what do you mean by staples?
They were all stapled. It was $1,000.
Staple.
Each $1,000 staple in the top corner.
All right, so you got 35,000. I think you previously said you got 37. Where did the other two come from?
Garcia gave it to me.
Why did he do that?
She gave it to me.
So he just gave you 2 additional stacks out of his cut?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know how much he got versus how much Katie got?
No,
You not remember that?
I don't remember.
Okay, but it added up to 100. Is that what you previously
Yes,
said?
ma'am.
So he tells the whole story.
Who's the lady?
Wendi.
Okay, because
Oh, he's a-
revolver.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Was there a particular plan as far as who was going to actually do the murder?
I was supposed to do it.
I was
And was it always going to be a shooting?
It's going to be a shooting.
What was the plan? Were you always going to do it in his car, or what, was there any kind of plan?
No, there wasn't no plan. Really didn't plan nothing out.
So it was just going to be if an opportunity arose, you were
If there
going
was
to take
opportunity, we do what we got to do and go.
it. What if an opportunity arose when the children were present?
I was not doing that in front of the kids.
Okay.
Not me.
Did somebody instruct you on that, or that was just a given that you weren't going to do it?
I was not going to do it. Period.
he's got a code.
On that
He's got a
first trip,
code.
when you were discussing this murder and the payment, was there any conversation about maybe switching it to a robbery?
Yes.
All right. And who brought up the possibility of switching it from a murder to a robbery?
Me.
And what was your suggestion?
My suggestion was to go back and rob the lady,
And who's the lady?
Wendi.
When-
Okay, because did you believe at that time that Wendi was the one that had this money to pay for the murder?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so your thought was, hey, let's just take the money.
Let's take the money.
Don't even have to do a murder, right?
We don't have to do none of that.
Let's go
And
rob him.
why didn't that happen instead of the murder?
He told me he can't. He just had to do his job. I'm like, I just went with it because I was my friend. So I just went with the,
Garcia told you that you had to get this job done.
yes, ma'am.
And the job had to be done for Katie, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so let's talk about the second trip. Is that when the murder happened, July 16th through the 18th?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
They went once and they couldn't do it because he was around his kids. And this guy has a strict code of no murdering around kids. Just do it when they're not there.
And that's the rental car agreement that I already showed you. That was the Prius you traveled up here in.
Absolutely, yes.
And we talked about your phone number, but there's another phone number on that rental agreement that says brother. Is that Garcia's phone number?
I don't remember.
Okay. Who would be the brother that you would put on the rental contract as going with you?
Garcia.
Did you take phones with you on the second trip?
Yes, ma'am.
That's what happened.
When the gun went off, Garcia was playing with the gun. I was driving, and he put a hole right through the floor in the passenger side.
Were you actually out on the roads
Yes,
when this
ma'am.
happened?
I was driving.
And did it have an impact on your ability to drive the car?
Yeah, I hit the gas line.
All right. So how'd you get it fixed?
Oh, he flagged somebody down there. We met the first time, some people, and they gave me a ride to the AutoZone to get a piece of hose to connect it back.
So somebody gave you a ride to the AutoZone.
Yes, ma'am. Not me,
What's
him.
first?
I was in the car. I never got off the car.
All right. You stayed with the disabled vehicle.
Yes, ma'am.
And did Garcia come back and do something to the car?
Yeah, he fixed it.
And it was able to be operated after that?
Yes.
Murder had to get done on the day it did?
It was just the right thing, the right opportunity, I guess.
Okay. Did you have any information that the victim was going to be leaving town the day after the homicide occurred?
Yes, ma'am.
Is the answer struck? Blog?
Objection, Your Honor.
It's not leading, Your Honor.
It
A
was
person.
a person.
And how did you actually talk to the person?
No, ma'am.
Who talked to the person?
Tuto. Or Garcia.
Garcia talked to the person.
Talked to
All right.
Katie.
Okay, so Garcia got the information from Katie.
Yes, ma'am.
And do we know where Katie got it from?
I don't know.
Okay, were you present when Garcia talked to Katie and found out we
Yes,
got to
ma'am.
do it today?
Yes, ma'am. He was on the phone.
I'm sorry.
He was on the phone speaking.
He was talking to Katie on the phone.
Yes, ma'am.
And you were present for that.
I was in the car.
Gotta do it today.
Who was driving the green Prius on, like, whenever you were following Mr. Markel right before the murder?
Me.
Did you go to, I think you said the daycare. Where else did you go that day?
The gym.
The gym.
Have you seen the video surveillance from the gym in this case?
I've seen it now.
Yeah, where the green Prius is at the gym. Have you seen that?
I've seen it.
And is that you driving that Prius?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, is Garcia in the vehicle as well?
Absolutely.
All right. Did you know whether or not the kids were in the car at the time you were at the gym?
Now he dropped them off. I seen him when he dropped them off in the daycare.
So you actually saw the kids go into the daycare?
Yes, ma'am.
So is it after the daycare that you proceed to the gym?
Yes.
And what about after that?
He followed into his house.
All right. So did you wait in the car while the victim went into the gym and worked out?
Yes, ma'am.
We followed him
And did
back
y'all
to his
know at
house.
that time, like we're going to do it when he comes out of
No.
the gym, or not necessarily?
Not necessarily. Not.
So you're just following him to see where he
To
goes.
see where he goes.
And where did he go?
To his house.
Did you see the bus video that shows the Prius shortly before and shortly after the homicide?
Yes, ma'am.
And were you driving the vehicle at that time?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell us what happened when you got to Mr. Martel's driveway.
Well, he had turned he turned the block before. We kept going. So we went in front of his house. So when he pulled in, we pulled in right behind. I pulled in right behind him.
Is what you're describing, you entered his street from two different directions?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And you met at did you meet at his driveway?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you pull in behind him. What happens next?
Garcia jumped out and shot him
How many times?
twice.
Where was he standing when he fired the shots?
Right in front of the driver's side, right there, by the driver.
Did you see what the victim did during this attack?
He put his hands up.
How was it decided that Mr. Garcia would end up being the shooter instead of
Put his
the original
hands
plan, which was for you to do it?
Fucking
I was
horrible.
driving. I had no time. He jumped out and did it. He had the gun the whole time.
All right. So either one of you were willing to do it when whoever wasn't driving when the opportunity arose.
Am I blurry?
Maybe, but it was really his job, so he did it.
You mean why was it his job?
He's the one that was getting paid, but he knew about the whole thing.
Well, you were getting paid too, right?
Yeah, right.
But he secured the job.
Yes, ma'am.
The last video that we looked at, one of them shows the passenger side, someone in a white shirt moving around a lot right after the homicide. Can you explain to the jury what was going on in the car at that time?
He was trying to hide the gun.
And that's Garcia?
Garcia.
Where did he put the gun?
Right in the front, in the passenger side, right under the rug.
Okay. What ultimately happened with the gun?
We threw it away.
Where?
In the river.
On the way back to South Florida?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that where y'all went when you left Tallahassee?
Yes, ma'am.
When did you turn your cell phones back on?
I think we turned them on right away, I think.
After leaving Tallahassee?
Yeah. I really don't remember, but it got turned on.
Sometime after the murder, they got turned back on?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember who made the first phone call out of the two of you?
No, I didn't make no phone call. He did.
Who did he call?
I think he called Katie. What he called Katie? He called Katie. He called Katie.
He called Katie. And were you able to hear the conversation with Katie?
Yes, ma'am.
And what was that conversation?
He told everything is done. She's like, I know. And where the money?
Where's the
Let me
money?
back up just a little bit. How did she know it was done?
I think she got a phone call right away before we did.
Yeah, wasn't
Right,
that
but
much?
somehow she indicated she knew.
Yes.
All right. And you asked about the money. Did you personally ask about the money, or was that Garcia?
That's Garcia.
What did she say about the money?
You'll get it tomorrow.
Did you get it tomorrow?
Yes, ma'am.
On the way back from Tallahassee to Miami, did you stop in Pembroke Pines at an ATM machine?
No, we back.
Yeah.
I know we stopped.
I'll show you states 39 through 45.
Yeah, so he had been told ahead of time, you're doing this because over something with the kids. The woman wants the kids. Like, you're doing this for Wendi Adelson, basically. She's going to be the one who directly benefits from you taking this guy out. Okay. He didn't give a shit. It was just a job for him. No big deal. Just another day at the office. That's the life of Luis Rivera. So he gets arrested in October of 20. I know he pleads guilty in October of 2024. He's indicted July, a couple months. So they got him. He pleads guilty like right away. Sigfredo Garcia wants to bring it to trial. Also in 2024, Katie Magbanua is arrested, but they offer her immunity. And we don't find this out till she testifies later on. And in one of the greatest mistakes of all time, she's offered immunity so she cannot go to jail. But she has to testify against Sigfredo Garcia, who's the other guy with him, and who's the one who shot Dan Markel. And he is the father of Magbanua's child. So she's like, I'm not going to testify against my baby daddy. He actually wants her. She's arrested in 2019. No, I know she went to trial in 2019, but I think she was arrested in 2016. I could be wrong. Anyway, so she does not want to testify against her baby daddy, who is still like in love with her. And he wants to, he actually encourages her to take the deal. According to her, he encouraged her to take the deal because he wanted one of them, if he's going to jail for life, he wants one of them to be able to raise the kids. So she has two trials. So she's arrested in 2016, and so is Sigfredo Garcia, and she chooses not to testify against him, which means she's got to go to trial and he's going to go to trial. They both go to trial in 2019. He gets convicted. She does not. 10-2 hung jury in favor of guilty. So she's in custody during this time, and she remains there until her trial, her next trial, retrial, which is in 2022. At that trial, she's convicted, and she is sentenced to life in prison, same as Sigfredo Garcia. I think Rivera got he'll be out in 20 years or something like that. All right. So that's that bound. Now, where do the Adelsons come into this? How do they get involved? Well, let's talk about their divorce documents first, because this is a really contentious divorce. Vinny did a good breakdown of this. My guy, Vinny. Let me pull this up. So let me, I got a couple timestamps here. We got first one is at 1650. I know. There it is there.
the other man she was sleeping with, the father of her children, to get his friend, the Latin king, and take care of Dan. That's how this went down. They've all four been convicted. They're done. They're done. Yeah, they can file appeals, but right now they are done. But at the center of all of this, and we go back, is what happened between Dan and Wendi. Divorce. It was a divorce. It was bitter. It was not pretty. There was a divorce, and there was also a custody battle as well as to how and where these children should be raised. And that is really the epicenter of everything that happens here. It's what I'm calling the case within the case, right? We're covering the criminal cases now and trials, but they all emanate from this divorce. And the question now, as ex-mother-in-law Donna Adelson has been charged for all of this, was this her motive motive for all of this? Was she the one pulling the strings? Was she the one whispering in Charlie's ear to get this done? That's what prosecutors are alleging. And tonight, what we're doing is we're going through some of the divorce papers and things that were filed to get a sense for what was going on. And would this be enough to take someone from, litigation over, custody of children happens all around the country every day in courthouses from coast to coast. But in this particular case, things get so personal, so heated, so bitter, that it would compel a grandmother to have her grandchildren's father murdered. That's the case. And prosecutors have proven it against the ex-brother-in-law. Now the question is, can they prove it against Donna Adelson? So I want to take a look. And this is a real significant part, and it was talked about during the course of the trial. The motion that were filed by Dan in all of this. Let's put the first one up there. On 3 specific occasions, this is alleged by Dan Markel, on 3 specific occasions in November of 2013, the children informed Mr. Markel, that's Dan, that Abba, which is dad, Abba, grandma says you're stupid. When queried as to why grandma, the maternal grandmother, we're talking about Donna Adelson, would say such things, the children replied jointly that it is because, quote, she says you, meaning Dan, are trying to take her sunshines away from her.
Oh my God. So they end up getting divorced in 2014, and she wants Wendi to move with the kids to Miami. And obviously that would mean if you're Dan Markel and you're teaching at Florida State, you don't get to see your kids. This guy was a really good dad, really involved in his children's lives. Everybody has good things to say about him, except for the Adelsons. They don't like him. They call them gibbers. And so she wanted her son, like she wanted them to move to Miami to be closer to her. So when she's alone with the kids, she's telling the kids, like, your dad's a bad person. What did you say about him? That he was, this is like that. Grandma says you're stupid. Okay. The children replied jointly, it is because she says you are trying to take her sunshines away from her. Oh, what a controlling freak. Who does that? What a piece of shit. So Dan Markel's no fool, though. He's not going to take this lying down. And he's a lawyer, so he knows how to handle this.
In December of 2013, the youngest son further stated to his dad, Mr. Markel, in front of his former wife, Abba, grandma says she hates you. So here's the allegations that grandma, Donna Adelson, is influencing her grandchildren to not like and to be influenced as what they think about their father. So Dan, in his motion, was trying to prevent that from happening any further. Take a look. Dan Markel moves for the following relief, meaning this is what he wants the judge to order in the case. Enjoin the former wife, Wendi, from allowing maternal grandmother, Donna, to have unsupervised time with the children, consistent with the first right of refusal.
You could just tell Donna Adelson's crazy just by looking at her. Like, she's like a controlling, manipulative bitch. You could tell just by looking at her. And this is absolutely the right thing to do. You'd be like, you are not allowed to be. I'm sorry, if your mother-in-law starts turning your kids against you and shit like that, dude, you better like, this is the 100% the right move. Do not allow this bitch around your fucking kids. Fuck that shit. Fuck that.
And to impose appropriate limitations to safeguard the children from being subjected to disparaging comments about their father. Now, if you're the grandmother, Donna Adelson, how personal are you going to take this? And is this one of those things that kind of takes her from grandmother bad-mouthing her former son-in-law, the father of her grandchildren, to whispering in her son's ear to get somebody to kill Dan? That's what prosecutors are saying here.
Yeah, so then we go to the next part of the court docs here. Got a bunch of these Cortex.
One, and again, this is from papers that are filed by Dan. In July of 2012, prior to the separation, Ms. Adelson had gone to the safe deposit box and without permission or notice to Mr. Markel, took whatever she wanted, including various pieces of valuable jewelry from Mr. Markel's family. The former wife, Wendi, declared that if Professor Markel's 96-year-old uncle, Lazar Lapidus, asked for the jewelry back that had belonged to his deceased wife, a Holocaust survivor, then Miss Adelson would, quote, give it back to him. Professor Markel sent former wife a letter from his uncle Lazar asking for the jewelry back. Former wife curtly refused to return the jewelry, claiming that it was not part of the marriage settlement agreement. What can you tell us about this piece of jewelry? And
so she stole the jewelry. What else did she do in this divorce? This is a really bad divorce. 21...
Disappearance. The Missing Mom Conspiracy Trial. Live coverage begins this week only on Court TV.
When did you separate from Professor Markel?
In the fall of 2012.
Whose decision was it to separate?
It was my decision.
Do you recognize the exhibit?
I do.
Is it a fair and accurate copy of your divorce file?
It looks like it, yes.
All right. And is it fair to say this was a contentious litigation process that you had with your ex?
It was.
It was contentious, to say the least. Dan Markel and Wendi Adelson, the divorce, and then the ensuing custody battle that continued past the divorce. Take a look here. I want to give you a flavor for what was going on here and how really it all started, at least officially started. On the weekend preceding Monday, September 10th, 2012, while Mr. Markel was away for a short business trip, Ms. Adelson abandoned Mr. Markel and their marital home, taking with her the couple's 2 toddler children, and with the help of her parents and professional movers, whichever furniture and belongings she wanted for herself and the children. She left behind no address for the children, no pajama bottoms or clean socks, no diapers, no wipes, and not even a bed for their eldest son. Just a crib mattress on the floor. She took numerous non-marital items, such as the former husband's tennis racket and family jewelry, as well as hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash and equities from their bank and investment accounts. Among the things she left behind on the bed, however, were divorce papers dated September 5th, 2012, 5 days before all this, signed before Mr. Markel even went on his trip. This abrupt and cruel departure shocked Mr. Markel, who in a 6-year marriage unmarked by any abuse, addiction, or infidelity, was devoted to his wife and children.
What a cunt. Like, who does that? So she knew she was getting divorced from him, goes and sees an attorney, gets it all drafted, and then takes his shit and runs. Fucking cunt. Oh my God.
And we know that during the course of this custody battle, that Wendy's brother hired people to murder Dan.
Yeah.
We know that. The jury told us. Let me bring former wife filed a false and misleading financial disclosure form. The financial affidavit, which is required to be produced under the relevant Florida rules, suffered from the following major errors: omitting the former wife's retirement account worth $145,000, omitting an account that at the time of separation at Charles Schwab worth $50,000, listing the value of the car, the jewelry in her possession, and all other personal property at zero, understating her then salary by several $1,000s. Okay, I get it, right? You're getting divorced, you want to get as much as you can, but you do have to be kind of honest about what you have. Like, what's your take on why more of the allegations made by Dan in these divorce papers? The former wife is not a helpless character in this drama. She's a 34-year-old public interest lawyer, the winner of numerous national fellowships and prizes, who simply helped herself to $600,000 in cash, liquid equities, and other assets upon separation. She makes 6 figures in a low-cost city and has wealthy parents who placed her in a financial cocoon. And upon belief, by paying her legal fees, they allowed and encouraged her to take the most aggressive and unsubstantiated legal postures possible, because there would be no financial consequences for her doing so. If she wanted to leave the marriage because she fell out of love, that is one thing. But she could have done so without taking more than the necessities, so that a proper and fair distribution could have immediately followed.
Right.
And that's the filing in reference to your motion for relocation?
Yes.
Paragraph E references the job offer. The wife also desires to relocate to South Florida in order to provide a better quality of life for the children by increasing their access to close family and providing more stability and consistency. Who is the close family in South Florida?
The close family would have been my mom and my dad and my brother.
And which brother is that?
My brother that's here today.
Charlie Adelson?
That's correct.
That's what it's all about. Wanting to get those kids down to South Florida, away from Tallahassee. Who wants to live in Tallahassee? We live in South Florida. That's where Grandma is and Uncle Charlie. All right. So let's take a look here. This is the order that was filed by the judge in response to the wife, Wendy's petition to relocate to South Florida with minor children. This court does not find that wife has met the burden of proof that a relocation is in the best interest of the minor children. The court orders the parties to mediation to resolve the remaining issues pending final hearing in this case, currently set for July 31st and August 1st of 2013. Let's take a listen to more of Wendi Adelson now, talking about an email that her mother sent her.
It reads, however, the rest of your life and consequently Dad's, mine, and yes, even Charlie's will be affected by how well you can perform / act before July 31st. You need to be a good actress you can be a good actress when you want to. I've seen you in action. You need to put on the performance of your life. Jibbers hasn't beaten the Adelson family yet.
Jibbers, who is Dan Markel, has not defeated the Adelsons. So the mom is coaching her up about, this is an ultra controlling mother who is just like, no, you're going to beat Jibbers in court. Like, fuck him. We're taking the kids. Fuck him. You got this, girl. Like mother, like daughter, like just teaching them. You got two piece of shit kids like this. You have a piece of shit mother. That's not a coincidence.
Jibbers.
Jibbers, she's referring to Danny.
So in this, again, your mom is referencing how everyone's life is being affected by this relocation, including your brother, Charlie. Do you agree with that?
That is what she said. Yes.
All right. Is your mom overprotective of you?
Yes.
All right. And is it fair to say she's a little on the controlling side?
I don't think she's controlling, but she's definitely overprotective.
All right, Carl Steinbeck, what do you see as the significance?
So anyway, as soon as they die, as soon as Dan Markel dies, she changes the boys' last names. That's the most fucked. That is how I know she's got to be involved. Like, she has to be involved. Like, how can... So you're telling me that the person who has the most to gain from Dan Markel dying, which is Wendi Adelson, right? He gets killed by two hitmen hired by his mother and her brother, and she didn't know about it. What? Like, was this supposed to be like a birthday present? Like, oh, what'd you get me for my birthday? Oh, an assassination, honey. Surprise! What? How could they not know about that? They changed the kids' names, and their excuse was that, well, we don't want people to Google them and have a bad thing come up, Markel. Well, wait till you see what comes up when you Google Adelson now. Like, I think that's a lot worse. So, yeah. Clearly, I think something's happening there. So, Wendi, when she finds out that, she gets alerted by the police that he has died, that the father of her children has died, she gets called down to the police department and interrogated for like 4.5 hours, and she talks a lot. Okay. And she doesn't say anything incriminating about herself, but she does say something incriminating about her brother, Charlie. Let me play that part.
Hired to commit the murder. That's what happened. Janine Driver, Jason Solomon, Carl Steinbeck still with us. We're watching Wendi Adelson's interview on July 18th. Let's take a look here. This is at 3:08 p.m. Now they're talking about Charlie, who has been convicted of being the mastermind here.
Would you ever ask someone to do something like this?
Not in a million years.
Okay. Do you think someone would do this for your benefit without asking you?
No.
What good does it serve?
My brother, the one his name is Charlie, the one I'm really close to, he makes a lot of jokes in bad taste, and it was a joke he made. He bought the TV for me this morning that got broken, and then I was talking to him about whether it made sense to pay to fix it or whether I should get a new one, and it was always his joke that, like, he knew Danny treated me badly, and it was always his joke. He said, I looked into hiring a hitman, and it was cheaper to get you this TV, so instead I got you this TV. He would never... He's my big brother, and he's been taking care of me since I was little, but he would never. And I told that to the repair guy this morning.
Right. That's okay.
He asked me how much it cost, and I said I didn't know because it was a gift, because my brother said it was cheaper than a hitman. It was my divorce present.
Okay.
Such a horrible thing to say. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
But even my family, who felt like I had been mistreated, would never do something like this. Never.
Well, you guys have been divorced for over a year. Has there been any type of abuse in that time?
Of him towards me?
Yeah.
No. It's he's litigious, and we have an ongoing case because the house, it shouldn't be in my name anymore, but when we settled the case of our divorce, he said, or one of the agreements the court said was, Danny wanted to stay in the house. They said, you can have the house, but you need to pay her half of the amount of what the house is worth. And he agreed to it, and then months passed, and he just never paid me. And so we have ongoing litigation where I filed a motion in the court to have him pay me what he said he would, and he filed a counter motion for sanctions against my attorney because he thought that she did something wrong, which she didn't. But so, I mean, she withdrew from the case, was going to serve as a witness. I mean, she's not going to lash out at him for it. She's using the legal process to do it. My parents are, very ignorant towards him. But even when they're around my kids, they would never say a bad word about my kid's father. They're really, really careful about that. They just like him, but they know he's the father of my kids. They would never do that. I don't know who would be angry enough with him.
Well, that's what I have to find out.
To do something like this.
What? They killed him. It's in the divorce docs. They said bad things about him all the time. What are they talking about?
The brother that you're real close to, I have to do a lot of elimination at the same time. The brother that you're really close to, the one that joked about the TV and everything, what'd you say his name was?
Charlie.
Charlie, and he's in Fort Lauderdale?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me what kind of car he has.
He has like 5 cars. He drives I think one of them is an unmarked police car.
Oh, really?
He's a bit of a character.
Okay.
So I don't know what he's driving at the time, but I'll tell you, he's a periodontist, and he has this practice where he works from early in the morning till late at night. So if you ever wanted to find his whereabouts, he's working all day long and until early in the morning till late at night, always driving to a different office working.
Oh, he goes to different offices?
Yeah, he works at different offices all over South Florida, does implants for people, and he works really hard all the time. He has a girlfriend, so he's pretty much accounted for all.
Charlie, is that his first name?
Charlie's his first name.
Not Charles?
I think Charles is his legal name. No one calls him that.
What's his last name?
Adelson.
What's his middle?
J-A-Y.
Same spelling. A-D-E-L-S-O-N.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god.
What?
What? Oh my gosh. I can't believe this is happening.
Oh my God.
Okay, Janine, give me your analysis here because they're talking about Charlie. Charlie was convicted by the jury.
Auntie Deb thought that was authentic. Oh my God, that's so cringe. But at the same time, if she was in on it, bro, she just sold her brother out so badly. Like she put the thought in the police's head that the Adelson family hired a hitman. Like they had never heard of that before. I'm sure this is a theory they eventually would have come up with, but you didn't have to do it for them. Like she put it in their head that my brother made a joke today about that it would be cheaper to hire a hitman than it would be to hire a TV repairman. So now the police are thinking hitman, and what do you mean she did it on purpose? People are like, she did it on purpose? Like that she meant to, like she's trying to fuck over her brother? Is that what you're saying? Like she fucked him over? She wanted the heat off of her? But if that's the case, then neither her brother nor her mother has thrown her under the bus at all. If she was really the mastermind of this, then they could have saved themselves or tried to save themselves by throwing her under the bus. Like if because if that was my sister, if she did that to me and like threw me under the bus, I'd be like, okay, fuck you. This is war. Right? And to my knowledge, that didn't happen. Right? Let's see. I watched it. Smart. Anyway, the mother will take this L. Yeah, but how did she do it on purpose? I want to hear what this is. Like, why would anyone think that's on purpose? Maybe I'm just reading this comment wrong. But anyway, so there's that. Everybody seems to think Wendy's guilty in the comments to distract from her. But again, why wouldn't Charlie's in jail for life now? Why wouldn't Charlie throw her under the bus? It'd be like, it was her fucking idea. Wouldn't you? If your sister did that, I'd be like, fuck her. Fuck this guy. I don't care if you are my sister. You throw me in life for jail for you're benefiting from this. He must really love his sister. Holy shit. He bought her an assassination for her birthday. That's so sweet. Oh my God. He must really care about her. So anyway, there's that. Now, another guy I need to introduce you to this. Let's first talk about the bump. Okay. So the FBI knows that something's happening here. Okay. And they know that the Adelsons, like right from the jump, right? When they're interviewing this guy, they know that, like, especially when they arrest 2 Latin King gang members, they're like, okay, this guy's just didn't do it on his own. This woman's mentioning hitmen right from the jump. Something's going on here. So the FBI starts tapping her phones, and they come up with this plan, and it's kind of ingenious, called the bump. Let me play. Oh, no, let me play this.
Because we noticed the pattern of calls leading up to the murder and around the time of the murder. The calls were always Donna Adelson to Charlie Adelson to Catherine Magbanua to Sigfredo Garcia and then back. It was always going.
So they were monitoring their calls. Donna would call Charlie. Charlie would call Katie Magbanua. Katie Magbanua would call Sigfredo Garcia. So they're monitoring their phones. They're seeing who's calling. Whenever a message needs to get sent, that would be the order.
Back and forth, pretty much in that order. So we wanted to start it on one end and see what would happen. See if it would travel that same line of people.
All right, Judge, at this time, I'd like to publish States 105, the bump video.
You may proceed.
Yes, please.
Black choice. What is it?
So this is Donna Adelson coming out. She just dropped the kids off at school. And here she comes out, and she's going to be confronted by an FBI agent who she doesn't realize is an FBI agent.
Pause it for just a moment. All right, so on the left side of the screen, we've got two different things going on here. Can you explain what we're looking at?
Yes, on the left side is a body recorder that the undercover agent was wearing, and it has video and audio on it. So what you're hearing is audio coming from the undercover agent and his video. On the right side is a separate video taken from surveillance agents that were in the area watching.
All right, so the woman we're seeing on the stairs here, is that Donna Adelson?
It is, and she's exiting the Icon, which is on South Beach, her condominium. That's the stairs coming from her condominium toward the street.
All right, please proceed.
Oh, picking up the kids. She's going to pick up the kids. Okay.
Okay. Bye. Excuse me, Mrs. Adelson? How you doing? Just want to give you this. Listen, don't be scared.
So he goes, I want to give you this. So this guy who is an FBI agent is giving Donna Adelson money, basically here. Or not money, I believe a letter.
Listen, just want to let you know that we know that your family has been taking care of Katie and her friend Hugo for quite some time after your problem up north has been resolved. And I want to let you know that my brother, he's incarcerated. He helped your family with this problem you guys had up north. And we want to make sure that he's going through some rough times. We want to make sure that you take care of what he's going through, the way you're taking care of Katie. And
so we know that your family is taking care of Katie Magbanua, paying her off, right, for her silence. And we want to make sure. So I guess this guy's pretending to be Luis Rivera's family member. He's like, you need to, don't forget about us too. If you want our silence, you got to keep paying the piper. Got to keep paying.
do that. Well, this will explain it.
He's next. I'm getting to him next. So the purpose of doing this was to fuck with her and just get her on the phone. This is what they should have done with the McAlberts. I swear to God, there's some bump shit. Okay. I don't know if they stop bumping at the FBI. They need to bump more because the whole purpose of this was to get her going and get her on the phone. Get her on the phone, right? See who she's going to call now. Who's the first person that she's going to call after this guy bumps into them? Yeah, like how they watched Jen McCabe call 5 people. It's very similar. They follow her.
Conclusion of the bump.
She goes into the elementary school there, to the door to the right, goes inside and retrieves the children, and then goes back to the Icon back across the street.
And are those Wendi and Dan Markell's children?
Yes, they are.
So they're in school just literally less than a block over?
Right across the street from where she lives.
Okay. And when the undercover
That's
bumps
Donna.
Mrs. Adelson, do we know if she had a cell phone on her person?
We don't know that.
Okay, but you didn't take one out and make a phone call.
She did not.
At this time, Your Honor, I will, or
So now they're going to play the calls that were made. So Donna immediately calls Charlie.
We have time to mind back to work or some other time very near future and need to keep it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Did someone write a letter to you or something?
I got some paperwork. Hand delivered to me.
You being sued?
No, that's what I thought it was, but I'm going to talk to you.
Okay.
Okay, so, I'm going to have to figure out something. You can tell me where you are.
Well, I'm in Mitch Klein's office. I'm in the Park Boulevard.
Okay.
So I'm right now with Town and Chili. I'll be at his office in the afternoon.
Okay. So the boys who finished their, finished their piano lesson around 4. She makes about the traffic and then we take about the time about that.
Does that know about it?
The guy that works there, fortunately.
What's IRS?
You know, the IRS people are kind of foggy sometimes, but fortunately not now.
They must think that they're being monitored at this point because they're not outright talking about shit. You know, they're smart. They're just like kind of talking in code. You know, no. Let me talk to you later. Does Wendi know that? Does it involve Wendi or something? Charlie says there. You know, I'll talk to you. I'll give you a heads up if I'm going to drive up that way. It's like IRS people. You know those IRS people? You're all right. The kind that bother you sometimes, but fortunately not now. I got you. So I will talk to you. I'll give you a heads up if I'm going to drive up that way.
I'll give you a heads up if I'm going to drive up that way. Okay. And,
Is Wendy know that? Is it about Wendy?
No. So let me just talk to you later. And
Does that help okay?
Yeah.
Does it involve me or other people?
Well, probably both of them.
What's that?
Probably the two of them. So we probably have a general idea what I'm talking about.
All right.
So let's just find some time to talk to each other and take the boys for a while. Okay?
You didn't take the boys up there?
Well, then we can come home. We can get here till about 7 and Dad gets here.
So it's already talking today.
Today or tomorrow, and it's important.
All right. I'll be up in Mitch Klein's office. You want to come up? Oh yeah, well, really.
I'm just concerned that
It goes on.
I was something that came hand to hand to me. I left it with the girlfriend today.
Did you do the ring with anonymous or?
Oh no, it's not anonymous. Not anonymous. I just don't want to discuss.
To come down to see you tomorrow. I have the day off.
Yes, that would be wonderful. Dad, actually, later tomorrow. You know, if you can get at 1 o'clock.
So she got the he goes, whatever. So if you're Charlie Adelson and you're getting this phone call, you're like, so I need to see that paperwork. I need to see what's going on right now. Right? We got to get to the bottom of this.
10:30. So
whatever it is, I'll take a look at the paperwork.
Yeah.
I hope it's not the IRS. But
I hope it's not the IRS. So the IRS is code. They're obviously the IRS. They're talking about the bad guys. Like that's Luis Rivera and Sigfredo Garcia.
Okay, so come down tomorrow. Dad leaves at 12. Let you come by.
Seems like we're picking up mid-stride there a little bit, like we might have missed the first couple words. Can you explain if that's true and why that is?
Yeah, it could have been a couple reasons. Technology missed it, or it could have been that the officer.
And it states Exhibit 78, right?
No.
The defendant.
No, she doesn't.
What does she say?
She says a girlfriend.
Who does she say this matter involves? Not Wendi, right?
Right, not Wendi. The
Who
two
does
of
she
them.
say?
The two of them.
The two of us?
Two of us.
Meaning herself and Charlie Adelson?
That's correct.
Is there another call where the defendant calls Mrs. Adelson back shortly after this?
Yes.
And is that the next call on the wire?
It is.
How long after the first call is this call that we're about to hear called B?
The fuck's he laughing at?
Yeah, I could look.
You can look on the.
And he got convicted real quick, and it's because this guy is one of the cockiest motherfuckers ever. And when Wendi takes a stand and she's testifying about the names that they would call Dan Markel, it was like Gibbers. I forget some of the other names they would call him, and he started laughing like he thought it was funny. Like, bro, Jesus Christ. And people say that Karen Reed had bad mannerisms in court.
Wire call summary in front of you.
2:09. It was 5 minutes. The call we just listened to was 5 minutes long, a little over 5 minutes. This call's at 2:35.
Okay, so less than half an hour.
Correct.
All right, publish B, please.
Hey, how are you? Good. Is it me not paying the sun pass?
Is it me not paying the sun tax?
Okay. No, listen, what was I gonna say? Do you mind paying my Brown and Brown insurance?
Brown and Brown
Okay,
insurance.
because
They call the killers brown. They're both brown skinned. He calls him Brown and Brown insurance. That's his code for Rivera and Garcia, or Brown and Brown insurance.
I'm gonna just stick with the same company. Yeah, but the thing is this: if you stay with the same company for 3 years, they can then try to bump you down into lower bracket.
Oh, okay. That's a good idea to do that.
So I might as well stay with them and then hope that it's actually true that they can do what they said about putting it in a lower bracket.
Okay. So you want me to call Pam Hall?
Yeah, because I told her that my mom would call her because she's handles like that stuff at the office.
Okay.
And then just send them a check. Because they have to have it before, I want to say the 29th or something.
Okay.
And then do that. And listen, whatever it is, whatever someone says you, I wouldn't worry too much about anything.
Okay.
I mean, so that someone can write whatever they want to write, someone can say whatever they want to say, and I'm not worried. So, was it another bad review on Yelp?
There's reviews come in. Sometimes there are bad reviews. This is a particularly bad one. So, yeah.
But I'm not being sued.
No.
Okay. All right. Honestly, it's whatever it is, and I wouldn't just judging from what you're making it sound like. I wouldn't stress about too much.
Okay. That's probably not.
Yeah. Listen, people can always write. People can always say anything they want. It doesn't. Someone says you're a bad dentist, it doesn't mean you're a bad dentist. So, but anyway, I'll definitely come down. It actually works out perfectly because I had the day off.
Okay. So I'll make you take me out to dinner. So make sure you bring cash with you.
All right.
Okay.
Do I need to bring cash?
Yeah. If you take me out to dinner, then I have that's probably a good idea, right?
Someone blackmailing you?
Someone blackmailing you.
You think someone's trying to blackmail
Maybe.
you?
Maybe.
No. That's crazy. Is there I don't know what blackmail is for, but is there any way I could see you? You can't come up here at all?
It's going to be difficult because essentially the parents shouldn't leave till about 4:15, and even if I came up there and got there at 5:15, it was going to be tough to necessarily get back here in time for when you pick them up.
Was this? Can I just ask you this? Is this anything government related, or is this like whack job writing a letter to you?
Is this what?
Is it like a whack job writing a letter to you, or is this government related?
What?
No, I don't know if it's government related.
So it's not government or military or anything like that.
No.
Who's the letter addressed to?
I know. It's just this is like
To you. That's crazy. Did it have do you know who sent it to you?
Oh, that's a pretty good idea. That's a pretty good idea. But let's talk later. Either I would like to. I'd like to try to get this today. I will definitely. I just don't know if I'm going to get back here in time for them.
It's like a payment processor.
So whoever sent you the letter sent you a.
Charlie's so fucking nervous during this too. He knows, but he thinks he's so fucking smart. They're like, oh, the FBI will never. I mean, you're talking like this in code. It's because your phones are tapped, but you think you're like outsmarting the feds. Well, if you're talking code, then they'll never figure this shit out. They can't crack the code.
An anonymous letter. Did they sign it?
They canceled everything.
So someone showed up. Was it like by a process server?
That's what I did was.
It wasn't.
No.
Where did they come to you at?
When I walked out of the building, I made a right, and I put both driveways at the icon.
Right.
And I walked in about 5 feet from pressing the button so that I could cross the street to pick up the blade to me.
Right.
And just as I got on the sidewalk. Yeah. Okay, so you stay right here then, okay? You stay right here.
The kids are right there. She's talking to the fucking kids. Well, she's like plotting a murder.
And he came over and was it a young guy, an old guy?
Anyway, so this is how they get him. Okay, we'll be here all night listening to this shit. So that's how that's pretty. That was in 2016. Now, that wasn't the only part about this case. I'm not an expert on this case that I don't understand is why it took till 2022 to arrest Charlie. Like, clearly they were onto these people from day one, right? In 2016, I mean, you got Luis Rivera, but must have been by 2016 as part of his plea deal. He took a plea. He must have said that he was hired, right? And hired by Katie, and Katie wouldn't she want to give up Charlie? I mean, I can understand wanting to protect Sigfredo because that's the father of her kids, but protecting Charlie, why the fuck would you want to protect him? That was bizarre. I don't know. So I'm not an expert on this case. I'm learning. That's why I'm interested in watching the trial live so I can learn about it, right? But then there's another witness, okay? So Wendy's and this guy is a really interesting character. So Wendi got a new boyfriend, and boy, this guy. So his name is Jeff. What the fuck's his last? Jeff Lacasse. And I mean, if Cucks had a mascot, it's this guy. Okay, so so here's Jeff. Okay, and poor Jeff here. Oh God. So Wendi is a whore and a freak, but you've seen what she looks like. She's not bad looking, right? She's not bad looking, but she's also like a whore and a freak. And if you get a guy like this, first of all, he kind of looks like Dan Markel, but she can just like, I am gonna fucking play this guy. I am gonna eat this guy. I can do whatever I want with this guy. She's fucking other dudes because she's a freak. Doesn't give a shit. And this poor guy is like, yeah, I thought you'll hear. He's like, I thought we had a future together. Like, this poor fucking guy. We just got to watch some of him.
The defendant, Wendi Adelson, and her went to dinner that evening, March 11th.
You're saying the defendant. Do you see the person in the courtroom
Yes.
that you had dinner with? Who's that?
It is Charles Adelson, known to me as Charlie.
Could you point him out and describe what he's wearing?
Yeah, he's sitting in the center of the defense table, wearing a light blue tie and a navy blue sports coat.
All right. Catherine Magbanua as well?
That was my understanding. She was excited about Catherine Magbanua, and that was my impression, yes.
All right. So anything unusual happened at the dinner?
Well, at the dinner, Ms. Magbanua mentioned that she had I guess it was her ex-common law husband, who had a criminal history that sounded very serious, and I did raise my eyebrows at that.
Did Charlie Adelson seem disturbed or upset by Catherine Magbanua mentioning that?
I don't recall him seeming disturbed, no.
All right. What about after dinner? Where'd you go next?
We went to Mr. Adelson's home, and we sat in his hot tub and had a few drinks and talked for a little while.
Who's the we that sat in the hot tub?
Yeah, myself, Wendi Adelson. Charles Adelson was in the hot tub for a while, and his then roommate, Dr. Jerome Obed.
All right. So Dr. Obed was living with Charlie Adelson at that time?
That was my understanding. He was his roommate, yeah.
All right. And where was Catherine Magbanua at that time?
She did not accompany us back to the house.
In the hot tub, did the defendant make some statements that were of interest in this case?
Yes.
What were those?
Yes.
Judge, objection, motion of the man.
Right. I continue.
Let me ask more specific questions. Adelson in the hot tub mentioned anything about having connections to criminal element?
Yes, he did. He mentioned having contacts on both sides of the tracks, meaning dentists, lawyers, professional class people, but he also had people he knew that were a criminal element.
I think it is too.
Get more specific about anything about these people that are the criminal element.
He mentioned specifically, I repeated it to TPD, about Cuban neighborhoods where you might find that criminal element.
Okay, so he had connections to those type of people.
That's what he said.
And
yes.
what was the context of this? Was he just seemed scared about it, worried about it, or something else?
Seemed to be bragging.
I want to ask you about a meeting with Wendi at a coffee shop that occurred on June 4th, 2014. You recall that?
I do.
What happened at the coffee shop?
We went to the Red Eye Coffee Shop to have coffee just to meet midday, and Miss Adelson canceled a trip that we had planned for July 11th to 17th to go see my parents, which was a big deal in the relationship, and she abruptly canceled it.
Did she offer an explanation as to why she needed to cancel the trip?
Not one that made sense. She said that she feared that we would not get back in time, and she emphasized, had to be back on the 18th to pick the kids up out of school, which would have been July 18th, 5 p.m. is my understanding. And I couldn't fathom why in the summer going through Atlanta, you wouldn't be able to get back in time. It didn't make any sense to me.
So she was.
So he's, first of all, they're going to meet this poor guy wants to introduce Wendi to his parents. He thinks he's met the love of his life because she gave him the best Hummer he's ever had. And he's freaky. Like, I know, like, trust, like, this guy's controlled by sex, like, guaranteed. She's fucking controlling him through sex. And he's like, yeah, we're going to live happily ever after. And I'm going to come harder than I've ever come. And he's, you know, like, you're gonna meet my parents. I'm gonna tell them how hard you made me come, but not really. But that's actually what I'm in love with. That's what draws me to the most about you, right? It's like he's just blinded by that. It's very obvious. And she's like, but we have to be back. I can't go because I have to be here to get the kids, pick up the kids on July 18th. July 18th is the day that Diane Markel is killed. And so he cancels the trip. Wendi cancels the trip right around then. Why would she do that? Why did she want to be, like, what's going on with that? Did she know that Dan was going to be killed?
Afraid it could be delayed and she wouldn't be able to pick the kids up.
Right. And we had people who could babysit. It didn't make any sense at all, but that was what she said. That day was very important.
All right. And so that occurred on June 4th.
It did.
All right. Did you see her later that evening?
I did. I went to the house to hang out with her and her children.
And is that her residence on Aqua Ridge?
Yes, ma'am.
And how was she that night? This is June 4th, right?
It is.
Okay.
She was a nervous wreck to the point where she was sick to her stomach. Asked me to get to her house as soon as possible. She was in that much distress. And she didn't have food poisoning or flu or anything obvious. She was just a nervous wreck. So I went to her house, immediately went to the store to get her Pepto-Bismol and a couple things from the convenience store. I have a credit card receipt, is why I recall that so specifically.
And did you have any idea why she's acting? I assume this is unusual for her.
It was fairly unusual. The degree of severity was definitely unusual. But that whole week, June 4th to 9th, she was very nervous. So.
And she didn't tell you it was because killers were in Tallahassee to kill Dan Markel, did she?
No, I was stunned to later find out that there was hitmen in town at the time.
Okay. So let's go forward a little bit to this TV situation. Do you know anything about Wendy's TV being broken?
I do.
And when was the TV broken, if you know?
Between June 11th and 18th, I think it's closer to the 11th, but 100% in that week.
And how do you know it was in that week?
Because we rented a movie, How to Train a Dragon 2, to give the kids a special movie night. And I have text messages where I'm discussing having seen the movie by the 18th with friends.
So you were able to refresh your memory?
Yeah, I was able to refresh those. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So do you get the movie or?
Well, back in the day, it was Redbox. So I rented a DVD from a Redbox. It was 2014.
All right. And go over there with the movie. And what happens when you arrive?
I walk in the door and Ms. Adelson asked me to look at her television because there's something wrong with the television.
And what was wrong with the television?
Well, I turned it on and I was immediately confused because it really shouldn't have been a question. As soon as you turn the TV on, it's been struck by an object and is damaged and basically unusable.
Can you explain what the damage looked like?
Yeah, it looked like somebody stood in front of it, took their fist and hit it like that was my first impression.
So kind of like a shattered mark.
I looked around the room. Maybe the kids broke it. So I looked all around the room. I didn't see it. I didn't know for sure. I didn't know we'd be discussing this in a murder trial. So I didn't investigate further or think about it very much. I went to go hook up the DVD player in the back room.
So did you watch the movie on the broken TV?
Yeah, we didn't exactly, but it was tempted to because it was pretty frustrating. And I just didn't understand, what was going on. And of course, it was not like an 80-inch TV or something that was really okay, but it was inconvenient because after dinner, it's nice to be able to put the kids in front of that TV while you clean up the dishes and stuff. And it sat there being an inconvenience for.
I mean, this guy, he's like the nicest guy. This poor guy is just the biggest cuck. Like he seems like a nice guy. He really does. But he has no idea that he's just being used. And in my opinion, set up for murder. Like I think they were planning on framing this guy for murder. That's my opinion.
Oh, wow.
All right. I want to ask you about when is Ms. Adelson's birthday?
April 22nd.
Okay.
Earth Day.
I've got this out of order. Let's skip over that for now and go to the big fight in June. Ms. Adelson mentioned that there was a big fight toward the end of June. Do you recall that?
Yeah, that's the weekend of June 27th, 28th.
Where were you when that fight occurred?
We were in Gainesville. Ms. Adelson accompanied me for a work trip, and we had that scheduled for a while. And she accompanied me on a work trip, and we ended up having a pretty big argument Saturday night in the hotel.
And did that have to do with you accusing her of seeing other men?
That was one of the issues. There'd been a lot of tension bubbling. That was the major issue. But just to give that some context, I suspected very strongly she was seeing other men.
Yes, here we go.
Your office had confirmed recently to me that there was multiple online active dating accounts the whole time we were supposed to be exclusive.
That poor guy. So he found out through the prosecutor's office that Wendi was fucking around with a whole bunch of dudes. But this guy's sitting there like, he's the one. She's gonna meet my parents, and meanwhile, she's just fucking around with all sorts of people. Like, and this guy's trying to fix the TV and put the dishes away. And poor Jeff.
But just to give context of that was combined with Wendi promising me the world in June, talking about me moving in. Shouldn't get a Jeep. You should get a car. The kids' car seats will fit in. The kids should start calling you daddy.
Oh my God.
One and so she's like throwing herself at me over the top in a way that felt totally disingenuous and fake. And at the same time, I think she's seen other guys. So it just got boiled over. I tried to have like a serious, honest relationship conversation with her, and that didn't go very well.
So you were kind of, at least up until all of this started happening, you were kind of full steam ahead, and it seems like she was a little stop and go.
This guy seems familiar. I've seen him before. Who's that guy? I've seen. Does he cover trials? I've seen that guy before. Is he a YouTuber? I've seen.
It was a roller coaster, is what I would say. And I felt since April that I was perhaps being strung along. I had that intuition. I couldn't fathom a reason why you would string a guy along like that. It didn't make any sense at the time.
All right, so we're in June, like 28th range.
Okay.
Okay, when do you come back from Gainesville?
That's Carl Steinbeck's brother.
Morning of the 29th, after
I did
this
not know
fight,
that.
this argument, we drive back. We drive back to Tallahassee. Now I had another ride back, and I offered to take that other ride if the fight was that bad, because we could have broken up after this. That was, but she wanted to ride back.
You rode together.
Yeah, we rode together.
All right, so you rode back together, and then was she leaving that day?
I believe it was I thought she picked up the kids the next day from Professor Markel's house, and that's when she met Amy Adler, and that was a big deal to her.
Amy Adler was Dan's girlfriend at the time?
Yes.
Okay, so it's at some point after the big fight and the return from Gainesville, does she leave to go to South Florida?
Yeah, I know. A day or two later, she definitely leaves to return to South Florida. She's in South Florida by July 1.
All right, and was that the trip that she was there for her dad's birthday?
That's correct.
Tell us about your interactions with her that day.
Yeah, we went to dinner and a movie, and we returned to our house on Aqua Ridge.
All right, and did she tell you anything asked to tell you anything in confidence that evening?
Yeah, in a very serious tone of voice. Topic of conversation as we're walking up to the house is about relocation, being stuck in Tallahassee, and Danny, as the conversation always was about Danny Markel. She said in a very serious tone of voice, "Can I tell you something in confidence?"
Oh.
Motion to eliminate. Now,
I think I do, Judge, but asked to approach.
Through another is not allowed.
But they're impeaching her to go to his statement. They're stuck with her answer. They could have kept on cross-examining her of why they thought her answer was wrong.
That might be a solution. I don't know.
Very well. To recall, eliminate, and also the court's ruling did not discuss or limit in any way state's ability to present this information, representations concerning impeachment. Intending to recall the witness at that point, the issue of impeachment may be revisited. Does everyone understand?
Finish your sequence of questions on the topic you were starting.
After asking to speak to me confidentially, she told me that last summer that Charles Adelson had looked into all possible options to take care of the Danny Markel problem, including hiring a hitman, and it would cost about $15,000.
Judge is good.
I revised them out. I said potentially that could have been $50,000. I'm unsure.
This judge is great.
Very confident it's true.
So you weren't sure whether she said 15 or 50.
Right.
But she didn't say 15 or 50. She said one or the other.
She said one number that I thought was 15 when I talked to TPD, and later thought that could have been 50.
Okay, I'm with you. And this statement was made in what context? What was her demeanor?
Well, she asked to speak to me confidentially. She was dead serious about it. It was a chilling statement. I had a reaction to it. My stomach flipped. A little scary, a little weird. So it was a very serious statement she's making.
So clearly not a joke.
No, it was not a joke. There were other jokes in that domain. This was completely distinct and discreet from any joke. This was not funny.
And the statement was made within 5 days of Mr. Markel's murder by a hitman?
That's correct.
And was this said in any way in the context of the relocation issue?
Well, what preceded her saying that was a discussion of under what circumstances could she or would she leave Tallahassee? And she stated that the only way to leave Tallahassee was if something happened to Danny. That's what led into the statement I just repeated.
All right. Thank you. That's the proper, Your Honor.
Any cross-examination concerning the subject of the property?
Sorry,
Any cross-examination as to the subject of the property?
yes, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
I'm trying to get to the point. It's a little, I got to find, I didn't timestamp this one, where it's freaky, where he talks about how he was driving by, he was going to be driving by the area where Dan Markel was killed at that exact time.
There was another person that I consulted with because it freaked me out, and we decided I decided after talking to her it was past tense, so probably not that dangerous, and we were really wrong. Maybe I should have called the police.
So Charlie Adelson lets you know that he's has friends in the criminal element, the Cuban criminal element, right?
One moment.
Hold on.
Recall that.
Well, was she trying to get Miss Adelson to talk about her ex-husband?
I don't recall. Said Mr. Adelson one time, yes.
Okay. And do you recall saying to him, "Hey, Charlie, it's Jeff," as in Wendi and Jeff. "Hey, man, thanks for your hospitality the other night. Sorry about the clusterfuck with the cab. It was great to finally meet you. I can tell how proud you are of your sister. I am too. She's really one in a million.
Oh, my God.
And look forward to seeing you again sometime soon." Do you recall texting him that?
I do recall texting him that.
Okay.
Wow.
You like hanging out with the criminal element?
It was my new girlfriend's brother who she was very close with. I've been dating Wendi seriously for 12 days. I didn't think it was right to give I was polite rather than honest. Let's put it that way. I mean,
let me ask the question again.
Yeah.
Do you like hanging out with the criminal element?
No, I don't do that.
Did Charlie Adelson text you or did you text him?
I texted him. I can't remember if that was solicited by Wendi Adelson or not, but I texted him.
It wasn't solicited by Charlie Adelson, right?
No, we never spoke again, though.
Okay. Actually, he texted you back.
Right, I never answered.
And he said it was great seeing you. I'm glad you made your flight. Hopefully we can all hang out soon.
Mm-hmm.
where you tell her that she's adapting really well to unpleasant circumstances and that she needs to give herself more credit?
Lacasse, you remain under oath. You may.
Danny Markel, including hiring a hitman.
And battle that was going on. Wendi Adelson, that. All right, Mr. Lacasse, I want to take you back to July 13th, 2014. This is going to be the Sunday before the homicide that we're here about. Did you see Wendi Adelson that evening at her residence here in Tallahassee?
Yes, after we returned from dinner and moved, we went back to her residence. Yes, ma'am.
All right. And at some point that evening, did the issue of the relocation battle that was going on back in the summer of 2013 come up?
It did.
And is that the issue we've already...
Confidentially, in a very serious tone of voice, told me that Charlie had investigated all possible options to take care of the problem of Danny Markel, including hiring a hitman, which would cost about $15,000. And I later revised that and thought maybe it was $50,000, but the dollar amount was the only thing in question. She definitely said that Charles Adelson had looked into hiring a hitman to kill Danny Markel.
And when did she say Mr. Adelson had looked into hiring a hitman?
When the relocation was denied the previous summer.
Okay. All right. And the dollar amount, so she either said 15 or 50, you're not sure.
Repeatedly, I knew that joke. This was something very different. This was chilling, a little scary, made my stomach flip. I found it disturbing. The joke was said in a lighthearted manner, and this was not said in that way. This was serious and said confidentially.
All right. Thank you. And I want to...
She contacted me, but she was excited to see me. And I wasn't so sure about that because the night before we'd had an awkward conversation at the conclusion of that night. And I told her that she didn't want to do this anymore, but she could just send me a text and I wouldn't, take any offense. We would just, break up. So I didn't get that text. Instead, I talked to Wendi Adelson and she was excited to see me.
All right. So what did you do?
Well, then she needed to call me back. And it went from her enthusiasm about seeing me to let's just meet at yoga tonight, go in separate cars. So
I know,
we were
right?
shift in about 30
So
minutes.
true.
Did you go to yoga?
We did.
Your relationship and the status of your...
That's how you know you're a cuck. You go to yoga with her, like, bro, I'm sorry. I don't care how hot you are. I'm not going to yoga with you ever. We're not doing yoga, period.
Relationship.
Yeah, a very brief one. I mean, yoga's not a great place to talk, obviously. So while we were sitting there, she seemed very cold, and I kind of got the feeling that it was over, that this was it. So as we walked to the car, I tried to talk to her about the relationship, and that didn't go well. And so I just kind of put up my hands and walked away, feeling sad that this was it.
All right. And as you walked away, was that the end, or was there more conversation after you began to walk away?
She called out to me, and I walked back towards her. And she was deeply curious. Well, let me back up slightly. During that conversation, she didn't have any interest in spending any time with me for the rest of the week. So it kind of confirmed, this is over. But then when she called me back, she had a series of detailed questions about what I would be doing on Friday.
Listen to this.
And Friday,
what are you doing
Friday?
Friday?
July 18th, right?
Yes.
And that's the date of the homicide?
That's exactly right.
What were her inquiries of you regarding that date?
I had a trip planned to Tennessee. She was aware that I was planning to leave about 11 a.m. On Friday. I need to get to Atlanta for an early dinner, so with traffic, she knew I was departing at 11. And at the yoga studio in the parking lot, she had asked if I was still going. If I didn't go, why not? What route I would be taking.
What route?
A lot of a bizarre amount of interest in that trip that didn't make sense to me at the time, given that she didn't want to spend time with me.
And how does it make sense to you now?
Well, if I had left on my trip at the scheduled time that she had known about for quite a while, I would have driven pretty close to Danny Markel's house about the same time as at the murder in a similar looking car to the suspect vehicle.
What type of vehicle did you drive?
I drove a 2004 Nissan Sentra that was silver metallic gray color.
So if you had followed your original plans, you would have been passing by the Markel residence or nearby there around the same time as the killers were fleeing?
Yeah, I would have been at Capitol Circle in Thomasville. Sure, I would have been on the same cell tower, for example. I think my life could have been pretty complicated had I taken my original plans.
All right, so you didn't, I guess, take the original plans?
No, I did not. I made a last minute decision the night before to leave Thursday night instead. I had not informed Ms. Adelson about that because we weren't speaking. Actually, no, I don't know that anyone in Tallahassee knew I had changed my plans, just the people at the other end.
All right, so you were actually in Tennessee at the time of the homicide?
I was.
And when we've heard you were called in as a potential suspect and apparently named by a Jane.
Oh, he did. That's wild. So she tells him, what are you doing July 18th? Where are you going? Are you going? Which way are you going? Oh, really? Okay, cool. So now she knows he's going to be going in the general vicinity of where Dan Markel lives, driving by there at that exact time. Coincidentally, he does not tell Wendi Adelson that he's canceling, that he's going to go the next day. He doesn't tell her that. And then Dan Markel is killed at almost the exact time that it happens. He was driving a 2004 Sentra Silver The killers drove a Prius. Let me see what a 2004 Sentra. Let's see what that looks like. I mean, yeah, it's just a little sedan, you know, it's a gay little car. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's the most boring looking car. It's like a Kia Sophia. Looks at you like that is not a cool car at all. But I mean, I guess, let me see, 2004 Prius. Does it look at all? No, they don't look at all like the Prius is a lot rounder. I mean, they're small. They're both gay cars, but I don't know. But they're both silver. So maybe, but also this guy's a talker. This guy does not shut the fuck up ever. So he might have concocted this whole thing in his head. It might honestly be a coincidence. I don't fucking know. Like, that's crazy. Like, this guy does. Wait till you see his interrogation tape. You have never seen somebody talk as much as this guy, and he treats his interrogation like fucking therapy class. Like just going over the whole relationship with Wendi. Like, I thought she liked me, but I guess she didn't really like me. He does not shut the fuck up.
Pearson, do you know who that is?
I do.
Okay, who is that?
That was a friend of Wendi Adelson's, and she was a doctoral student in our program. I had not much of a relationship with her, just a kind of a working relationship. We worked on a couple projects together, but I didn't know her very well at all.
But someone that knew that you had been dating Wendi.
Yeah, I think she was a confidant of Wendi Adelson's. Yes, for sure.
Okay, so you get called in, and were you able to provide documentation to show that you were in Tennessee and not in Tallahassee?
Yeah, I was excluded fairly quickly because investigators found Kmart surveillance footage of me at a Kmart in Tennessee using my credit card and my cell phone showing me there shortly after the murder. So it was impossible that I was the shooter.
All right, and then was there also some similar type?
I don't think that's the only reason it's impossible you were the shooter, but go ahead.
Coincidences around the time of the trip that the killers made in June?
Yes. On June 6th, I had a business trip to Gainesville, and I departed at 11 a.m. on a Friday, June 6th, which Ms. Adelson would have known about by March. So really, I take 2 trips out of Tallahassee in my car the whole spring and summer semester. Both time, him and try to kill Danny Markel.
Okay. Any further contact with Wendi after the yoga date?
We about 10 days after the murder, she reached out to a mutual friend, and we had a few phone calls.
And during one of those phone calls, did you learn about a dinner where Wendi had become ill at the table?
Yes, I did learn about that.
And what did you learn about that dinner?
That she went out to dinner with Charlie for what he called a celebration dinner. He said something to her. She spontaneously vomited on the table.
And this would have been within how much time after the homicide?
Within a few weeks.
Was it specified that the celebration was in reference to Dan Martel's death as opposed to anything else?
Wasn't specified.
But whatever it was, that's the dinner where she vomited.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So this guy is a real character, and I don't know if we'll be hearing from him in Donna's trial. I don't know if it's gonna be like the same cast of characters in Donna's trial, but I hope so. Because he's very entertaining. And here, I'll play you some of his interview real quick.
It was changed 12 hours before.
Look at this guy. What's he doing? What did he say? Is he talking to himself? He's alone in the. He's alone. The fuck was that? Okay.
Okay. 27th through 29th, you're in Gainesville. You see the planner. You see Sack's name everywhere.
Well, I seen it earlier in the month, but I confronted her on that in Gainesville.
Okay. And you at a hotel or something? And so did she get upset with you? Did she claim you're snooping or something? Or?
She bothered her, but mainly she just collapsed, just sobbing like an infant, just acting really, really crazy. I mean,
you're basically saying, you're seeing me, but at the same time, you're screwing this guy.
I said, I know about Daniel Sack. I know you never stopped saying him.
But you already know because you've seen him at the coffee shop.
I didn't see him screwing.
No, but I mean, is this Daniel Sack at the coffee shop?
It is.
You knew that when you saw him?
I knew who Daniel Sack was when I walked in to the coffee shop. I didn't know he'd be there, but I recognized him.
Facial recognition?
Yeah, I looked him up on the web because she talked about him constantly. So I looked him up.
All right.
So, in that, I guess the important thing about that meeting is it seemed to like shatter her. She's so fragile. She wants to be seen as this moral, ethical person. She's a freaking humanitarian on the web, right? I mean, human trafficking and social work. She's like a humanitarian if you look her up on the web. She wants to be seen as this ethical, loyal person.
Right.
Confused about this timeline.
Yeah.
Maybe we should try to get that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, where's this week off? Which
That's in July. I've been going.
Okay.
I've been going in order.
Okay.
So we're still in June right now.
Okay, so we're in, but this comment from late June of the 20th through the July 14th is before or after what you're telling me now?
I can't remember.
It's my fault.
No, it's okay. No, it's not fault. I can't. I want to be as honest and accurate idea. I finally managed to convince her to do a trip to St. Augustine, but we had to schedule it so that we were back basically by the time of the shooting. So that was just strange. It was peculiar. Able to cover it up here or there. Place people the first 100 hours you spent on 3 things she's amazing. 101 on, you're like, shit, what did I get myself into here? This person's kind of crazy.
You talk a little fast for me.
I'm sorry.
100 hours?
Yeah, first 100 hours you think she's amazing. Then after that, wait a second, there's some tremendous flaws here. So she goes to a very good public face. It's accomplished, beautiful, smart, funny woman. Total, I was with her 4 or 5 nights a week for 7 or 8 months total, I would say. More in the spring than the fall.
So he loves talking about his relationship. He's like, he will never forget his 1 or 2 months with Wendi Adelson, I suppose. I mean, it's somewhat similar to my situation with, I mean, except I wasn't fucking trying to introduce fake victim to my parents or anything like that, but like he apparently was. And so the way he remembers like every detail, like it was like the best time of his life. Like he remembers it so well, but he's like hurt by it. He's like, I can't believe she was lying to me. And not only was she, being dishonest, like not only was she trying to potentially plot to kill her ex-husband and frame me for it, but on top of that, she also said she loved me and she wanted me to move in. They wanted me to call him daddy. And yeah, they had just broken up. And she introduced him to the kids after the breakup, right? Yeah. No, there was no yoga with the fake victim. No, nothing like that.
She was deeply troubled. She was on psychiatric medications, and in March she decided to come off of those.
March of 14?
March of 14. Spring break, luckily, actually, that's when she went off. And this will make sense to why this matters. I don't want to give you BS or other information, but she's already a sensitive person, so much that, I mean, you couldn't say to her, like, hey, I'd appreciate it if you'd be a little more considerate to me. You're being kind of, she'd break down crying for 2 hours. She would throw a tantrum. I've never seen anything like it. Anybody I've ever dated, I mean, it's pretty crazy. So, but then when she went to SSRIs, they went from being fragile to being, she had no resilience. She would just melt down in an absolute second.
For over what?
Anything, any kind of criticism.
Oh, if you had given her criticism.
Or anybody did, anything negative. I mean, I've seen her lose her shit over, cake going bad in the oven, and she's devastated for 6 hours. This was in the spring. So this was like the state she was in as we approached the time of the crime. So I'll skip the whole thing where we date the first 6 months. It was, she played hard to get. I chased her.
Here we go.
Eventually she agreed to be my girlfriend. We go to spring break. She starts coming off the SSRIs. Things start getting pretty weird in terms of, we had a couple, first time we spent a week together, you know how that is. Of course, you're going to have a minor thing. You're going to find out who this person really is, and she's found it devastating. And a couple of times I called her. She's very narcissistic. A couple of times, like, I'm here too.
I mean,
basic stuff like that, but she would just.
See what I mean? He treated the interrogation like therapy. I mean, that's how you know he's innocent. Like they brought him in here. They're like, well, this guy could be a suspect. Let's get him in here. And then he starts talking. They're like, oh man, this guy is gay as shit. This guy, dude, he didn't kill anyone. But good Lord, he just wants to, like, he's treating the cop like he's his therapist.
Your mind over that kind of stuff.
You can't believe it.
Spring break on, so I can skip all my bullshit and just tell you what's pertinent.
And he remembers like every detail of their relationship because he still feels like wronged by it. Like, oh, so she did this, then we said this, and blah, blah, blah.
Crime, I think. She was coming off as SSRIs March 12th or 13th.
March 12th?
12th or 13th is when she started. So that was spring break, like almost a year ago.
Oh, 2014.
2014, exactly. Okay.
So March 12th and 13th, y'all in Immokalee?
Yeah, that week we're in Immokalee.
And that's for this retreat for your students?
Alternative spring break, yes, sir.
And you traveled with, you took her with you?
She took me with her, actually, yeah. It was her as a law school thing, and I just went along to help her out.
Oh, I thought it was, because you're in social work.
Yeah, it's actually a law thing. They just wanted to bring a social worker off, and I was one, so we went. So.
Okay, so these students that are going to this alternative spring break are law students?
They were, and some med students, yeah. Her parents, if you investigated your place, I mean, she needs to be taken care of. She's such a fragile person. When she would travel to Miami, her mom would drive or fly up here and then go down with her every single time. And
she didn't travel on her own?
No, it's real weird. And at first I thought, what overbearing parents? And then over time I'm like, oh, I don't want to let her go on spring break by herself either. Won't be able to handle it. She'll lose her shit, So February, March, Yeah, I think she's
Probably.
cheating on me, all kinds of stuff like that. That's
This is that other Daniel guy.
He needs a hug.
Among others. I think there's I'll get to that in a minute. I think a long list, and I don't know how many of them you guys have considered.
How many boyfriends does she have?
I've seen stuff pertinent to the crime. I met her brother Charlie when I was down there in Miami for Immokalee. You may recall that I said I found him to be a very strange person, very aggressive, verbally. He takes sex tourism trips to South America to have sex with underage prostitutes.
Wait a minute, back up a second.
Yeah, he takes sex tourism trips to South America to have sex with underage prostitutes.
Sex tourism.
Yeah, okay, South America.
I'm kind of a sheltered guy.
Well, I was shocked not only that he would tell people he did that, but he would tell his younger sister. That was strange to me. Very odd. And there's this odd dynamic between them, the whole family.
So Charlie would talk about going to fucking foreign countries and just fucking whores. Like, this guy's got so much to say. Like, this guy has got so much. He's telling them everything.
It's real weird. Most people spend time with him say this is, social workers might say incest in his family, there's violence in his family, something's up with his family. But I mentioned to you that he talked in the hot tub about punishing a girl by anally violating her in front of Wendi and I, like bragging about the fact that he'd hurt this girl because she had got him in an uncomfortable situation. So he came off like an offender to me. He came off like a kind of sociopathic. Like, this is strange. He just met me. He's telling me this. It was really, really weird.
Okay, I know. I'm just trying to rein you in a little bit so I can make sure I get it right. I do recall something about a hot tub. But I think it may have been something I read from Corey Hales.
Anyway, we could watch I could watch his interrogation all day, but that's Jeff Lacasse. Okay, so next in the saga is Catherine Magbanua. So she is like I said, she fucked up the immunity thing. She had a chance to stay out of jail and she couldn't handle it. Okay, because she thought she didn't want to turn on baby daddy, but that ended up being obviously a huge mistake on her part because she ended up going to jail. Both of them went to jail. So let me find the video. So Magbanua goes to trial. She gets a hung jury, and then the second time around, she gets life in prison. Okay. And this is an interview shortly afterwards. So she ends up narking on Charlie. She didn't initially narc on him, but then she does. I don't know. Let's see.
Just talking to Sigfredo about.
Hold on. Thanks.
In reference to a trial in your case? Yeah.
Second jury. Yeah, she was a little upset. They came back guilty, which means rest of your life in prison, May 27th, 2022. But then we saw her again, Katie Magbanua, at the trial of Charlie Adelson. Why? I mean, she testified twice that she had nothing to do with the murder. And then all of a sudden at Charlie's trial, she was in the middle of it. Take a listen.
Did you have a trial in your case?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you testify?
Yes, ma'am.
You testified on your own behalf?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And when you testified, were you truthful with the jury?
No, ma'am. I was not.
Did you take the same oath that you just took today in your own trial?
Yes, ma'am.
What was your defense when you were tried?
That I had nothing to do with it.
All right. That we got it right in reference to Charlie Adelson and we got it right in reference to the killers,
yes,
but you
ma'am.
weren't in the middle.
Yes, ma'am.
Was that true?
No, ma'am, it was not.
Were you in the middle?
Yes, ma'am, I was.
Sigfredo Garcia was involved.
Yes, ma'am, he was.
So why tell the truth now?
I believe that the truth needed to come out now.
She's telling the truth now because she's got life in prison and she's thinking this is her only shot out of jail. Like, and she deeply regrets not doing this a long time ago. That's what that is.
So that the family can get some type of closure.
Why didn't the truth need to come out last year or the year before or the year before that?
I was trying to defend myself.
You were trying to get off?
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
Well, arguably, by cooperating, she's still looking for something. I don't know. But there she was. So what we have for you tonight for the first time is Katie Magbanua, after she is convicted, going to investigators and the prosecutors to tell them for the first time that she was actually involved in all of this, right? She goes to prosecutors. All right, now I'm going to tell you the truth. Let's take a look and a listen to that.
Because this is what I was afraid of, like, just with everything that's been happening and like obviously getting incarcerated, and then it's just, I've been like, you know, like with my guard up the whole time, and then like all of a sudden it's like, I don't want to walk into this room, and then it's just like me just talk.
This is your side of the story.
Yeah.
You tell us the truth of what happened, and we'll ask questions when we need to, but
Yeah.
let's do this. Will you raise your
I
hand?
believe you. Send them to
Swear
me.
to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
All right.
Like that's the
What did he mean? What did he say to you, basically? Just in general.
That he needs somebody to get hurt, but like not to get to that point. From my understanding, was not to get killed, but to maybe like, I don't know, if like rough up or beat up or whatever.
Okay.
At that point.
Okay.
So I like that's what I'm saying. Like I just little by little, maybe he's like feeding things in my head, but I can't remember those specifics. And
Okay, so then you're relaying it out to Sigfredo. So what are you relaying to Sigfredo? And I know you're not saying Charlie wants me, you're just talking to Sigfredo about a friend that has this problem. What's the problem you're telling Sigfredo?
Just that.
So you told Charlie you have it taken care of. So Charlie didn't know you were going to Sigfredo, but he probably assumed is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay, but you didn't tell Sigfredo it's from Charlie, and you didn't tell Charlie you're going to Sigfredo. You just told him that you would have it taken care of.
like, I just feel like every single time that like Charlie would like talk to his mom, like it was always like if I was like in the house, like he never talked to her, like on the phone with me, he'd always walk away and stuff. But I almost feel like his mom always knew something was going on, something needed to be taken care of.
What do you ever
Like
tell
his
you
mom.
though? He never tell you.
I mean, like he kind of like he was the type that he would really like, oh, like my family doesn't know anything about that. But in my head, I'm like, okay, then why do you walk away? And you know, like whenever we're talking about something.
So I have a lot to learn about this case. I don't understand why she's protecting him at all. Like she could have snitched on him in the first trial and the second trial, given him up. I don't understand why it took until 2022. Well, I guess he was arrested in 2022. Was this the final nail in the coffin? She gets convicted in 2022 and she's like, fuck him. Now I'm going to rat on him. And then he gets arrested. I think that's my understanding of it all. I'm not entirely sure. Again, I have more to learn about this. So I'm really interested in following this trial. There you want. So now let's get to Wendy's testimony. So Wendi has, so I did get that right. Okay, cool. Now Wendi has testified 3 times. And I tried watching Carl Steinbeck's coverage of this. It was 6 hours. I couldn't watch 6 hours today of Carl Steinbeck's breakdown of Wendi Adelson's, I don't know if it was her interrogation video or something. Like he fully believes Wendi Adelson will be arrested for this. She's like the only one. She's the one who benefited directly the most from the death of Dan Markel. Her mother and her brother are charged with orchestrating the hit, and the mother is ultra controlling, and somehow Wendi didn't know about it. I mean, who believes that? That's crazy. That's insane. Then there's some guy on Twitter is like in love with Wendi Adelson or something. He's like, he's been tweeting at me like nonstop that she's like she's been cleared, blah, 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 blah. I don't know. So, okay. So let me play. So this is Wendi Adelson. So she has testified at, I believe, her brother's murder trial in 2023. So Charlie goes on trial in 2023, gets convicted. Okay. Magbanua was convicted in 2022. Sigfredo Garcia was convicted in 2019. And in 2016, Luis Rivera pled guilty. So I'm pretty sure that she has testified at all 3, at Garcia's, at Magbanua's, and at her brother's murder trial. So but she's also gotten a subpoena to testify. This is new, at Donna's trial by, I believe, the defense, and the judge quashed the subpoena. So I'm told that she does not have to testify. Again, I could be wrong. I'm not an expert on this. Correct me if I'm wrong. My understanding is she does not have to testify at this next trial. Is that true? For the defense? So she can't testify for the defense? Oh, it happened at every trial. See, I have a lot to learn. Loophole lawyer doesn't think she's innocent. He's always drug her. Yeah, exactly. Charlie Boy and Donna Sue. That's what he calls them. The defense can't call her. The state can. And the state, I think the state has called her in the last, the state called her. She was their witness in the last trial, right? Because what she said about the hitman is pretty good evidence against Charlie. I don't fucking know. If the defense... Okay, I have a lot to learn. I have to read more about it. The state is calling her. She has immunity about her testimony. What does she need immunity for? So the state is offering her immunity, so anything she says she can't be prosecuted for in the future? Is that right? That's crazy. Not even the McAlberts didn't have immunity, did they? He covered this today. I gotta catch up. I got a lot of listening to, folks. I got a lot of shit to do. No more drama. I'm done with the LTL drama. Okay. Focusing on this. It's a waste of my time. Okay, here we go. All right, so let me play some of this testimony with Wendi.
With Mr. Ashbaum that you were going to have in Tallahassee post murder date. None of those plans happened, right?
No.
Because you moved to South Florida, right?
Because I felt unsafe to stay here, yes.
And did you feel safe in South Florida?
No.
Did you buy a house in Tallahassee after the murder?
No, I did not.
Did you rent a house in Tallahassee after the murder?
No, I didn't live in Tallahassee after the murder.
Did the boys go to school that fall here in Tallahassee?
No, all our plans were broken.
And what was the purpose of those questions? Of course you didn't. You moved to South Florida. You didn't have plans in Tallahassee that got executed. Why were you asked about all these things?
I don't know why I was asked questions by the defense counsel.
The book event that you were asked about, did that event happen?
I didn't speak at the event, but the event still happened.
Have you had several events related to that book that have happened?
I have.
And what events were those?
Do you mean just in Tallahassee or do you mean in other places?
Everywhere.
I've spoken at various schools about human trafficking and about my book. I think there was one event that still happened in Tallahassee about a year later.
And is that the only book you've written, or have you written more than one book?
I've only written one book.
What was the book about?
The book was about human trafficking and about the vulnerabilities that lead to trafficking, problems when it occurs, and basically how to recover from it after.
Where was the book set?
It was set in a fictional town.
What was the name of the fictional town?
Hiawassee Springs.
So Hiawassee. Is it located in the panhandle of Florida?
No, I used to see the name when I was driving from Tallahassee to Orlando, so it's somewhere in between.
And was the place modeled after Tallahassee?
It was definitely somewhere in Florida, but not supposed to be about Tallahassee, no.
Who was the central character in that book?
So there's three central characters. One was one of my clients, kind of a composite character from Eastern Europe.
This prosecutor is just so much more polished and good at her job than Adam Lowley, and less dickish than Hank Brennan. Like, this is what I meant. Like, every time I watch some trial on court TV, the prosecutors are always normal, like always. It's the defense attorneys usually that are like the interesting ones, but like the prosecutors are pretty solid because usually they're dealing with the defendant who's guilty. And so just compare her to Lowley and just the difference. And it's just like, picture this woman ever prosecuting Karen Reed. You couldn't do it. I just can't imagine this woman doing that, you know?
One was kind of a composite character of many clients I represented from Latin America, and one was a public interest lawyer.
And was the public interest lawyer Lily?
Yes.
And is that the character that's sort of based after yourself?
No, really more based off her from the line.
And was Hiawassee, Florida, quote, just a small stop on the way back to what we had previously known as civilization? Is that a quote from your book?
That sounds like a quote from my book, yeah.
And who's the husband of Lily, the public interest lawyer?
You want his name in the book?
Yes.
I think it was Josh Stone.
All right, and what was Josh's employment?
Josh was an English professor.
I'm sorry, what was your answer?
Josh was an English professor.
Moved to this godforsaken place for Josh's career.
Yes, that sounds like a line Lily would say.
All right. When you looked at page 187 of the divorce document on cross, and I'll hand that back to you. This is actually my copy. Do you see the quote that you read previously from that page?
I don't.
Okay. You were very unhappy in the marriage. I think it's the third paragraph there.
I see that line.
Okay. The wife has been very unhappy in the marriage and files her petition for dissolution of marriage. And all. Was that intended to be the place in this binder? Who reads the profs?
No.
On the listserv for that profs blog, Dan's travel plans post murder other than that?
Right.
Okay, but as far as the date he's leaving, the flight he's on, that kind of stuff, would that typically be on the prof's blog?
I don't.
Referenced several times, not on direct examination by the state, but by soliciting you to do a murder.
No.
Who is he charged to plan a murder?
No.
Is he charged with? Is your brother charged with conspiring with you to do a murder?
No.
Is he charged with conspiring with you to plan a murder?
No.
Is he charged with soliciting you to do a murder?
No.
Who is he charged with doing those things with?
I don't think anyone.
Have you had an opportunity to review his indictment in this case?
I have not.
Yeah, right.
You had an opportunity to take a look at that document to yourself.
He is extremely smart and crafty. Like, she's not getting caught like her stupid brother and her stupid mother, right? She's far too crafty. But this is, imagine your brother was indicted and you're a lawyer and you've never looked at his indictment. You've never been interested enough to like look in. Oh yeah, I should probably look into my brother, who I'm very close with and who was ultra protective of me. I'm going to look into his, I'm just not going to look into it at all. I have no intellectual curiosity and why my brother has been indicted for murder at all against the father of my children. I have no interest in that whatsoever. Okay.
Who is your brother alleged to have done these crimes with?
Catherine D. Magbanua.
Were you on the wire in this case, Ms. Adelson?
No.
So when the bump happened, are you familiar with the event I'm referencing as the bump?
I am now.
When law enforcement approached your mother on the street and handed her a piece of paper?
Yes.
Okay, when that occurred, who did your mother call?
I don't know.
Not you, right?
Not me.
Okay. And once your brother found out about the bump, did he call you about it?
No.
Who did he call?
I don't know.
Well, you listened to the calls to authenticate the voices, didn't you?
Just to hear the voices, not to hear the content of the calls.
Okay. And the voices were your brother's voice, right?
But I listened to the calls just to hear who was on them, so I don't know what content they're referencing.
I heard your answer. My question to you now is, your brother's voice was on the calls.
He was on some of the calls I listened to.
Your mother's voice was on the calls.
She was on some of the calls I listened to.
Did you have any secret meetings with your brother post bump that happened in South Florida?
No.
You were asked about Jeffrey Lacasse and the way that your relationship ended. What is OkCupid?
OkCupid is a dating website.
Were you on that dating website?
I was.
Were you on that dating website at the time that you were dating Mr. Lacasse?
No, I wasn't.
And were you speaking, so I guess if you weren't on it, you weren't speaking to multiple men from the website during the time you were dating Mr. Lacasse. And I'll remind you that you provided your phone in this case and it was cell-rated, downloaded.
Cell-rated.
Prosecutor giving her a strong warning not
Oh God. Oh, fuck's sake. I can't watch her. I can't ever see her again.
It's not my family.
I mean, somebody hired him, right?
Not necessarily.
Somebody paid. Do you want the culpable parties held accountable for murdering the father of your children?
Absolutely. I'm grateful they're already in jail.
But not if it's your family.
It's not my family.
I mean, somebody hired him, right?
Not necessarily.
Somebody paid him.
I learned something this morning.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
you want
me
him held
too.
accountable if it was your family members, didn't you?
Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. That was awesome. That was like the Alan Jackson line about like, well, you didn't do it. Yeah, it wasn't you. Yeah, me too. That was awesome. But yeah, she's like, so you want the parties held responsible? It's like, they're already in jail. Oh no. Well, what? She keeps going.
You tell law enforcement that?
That's not what I told law enforcement.
What did you tell law enforcement?
I told them that the person who did this should be held responsible and that I had nothing to do with it.
Page 122, lines 7 through 12. If somebody tried to kill my ex-husband, they should be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. The investigator says, regardless of who it is, and your answer is, I mean, it would be different if I thought it were my brother.
But I don't think it was my family.
It's different now, isn't it?
No, it's not different. That's exactly
different
what
today,
I said
isn't
right
it?
here. No, that's not
No
right.
further questions.
back. Let's go back to court together now. There's more from the prosecution.
Just
disregarding the last comment from the prosecutor. Go ahead.
didn't you just say that you weren't on OkCupid at the time that you were dating Jeffrey Lacasse?
I don't know when we say I officially stopped dating Jeff Lacasse, but there's a chance that, I mean, I don't remember in 2014 whether I had gotten the app and started talking to people before we officially broke up.
Okay, so my point is there's a chance that he was right. You were being unfaithful or at least talking to other people. He had a reason to be jealous.
I think he had some serious jealousy issues that may or may not have been founded.
Yeah, I think we got from your testimony that you believe he had serious jealousy issues. My question to you is, did he have a reason to be?
No.
So he was wrong?
He was wrong in June when he accused me of being with multiple people that I wasn't with, yes.
Okay. What was wrong with Dan's mother trying to make arrangements for the kids in the event of your arrest? Wasn't that a kind thing to do?
I don't think it's kind to put my children in foster care.
Wasn't the foster care intended only to cover the time frame that it would take for her to get on a plane with the kids?
Yes.
Okay. What was wrong with Dan's mother trying to make arrangements for the kids in the event of your arrest? Wasn't that a kind thing to do?
I don't think it's kind to put my children in foster care.
Wasn't the foster care intended only to cover the time frame that it would take for her to get on a plane and get here?
She never said that.
So it's really tragic what's happened to his parents, who are directly behind the prosecutor this entire time. They have not been able to see their grandkids, and since imagine losing your son and your grandkids, because that's what his parents have been through, and then they lose their surname, so it's all ties to Dan have gone away. And the people who killed your son, they now have their last name. Think of how much they hate Wendi Adelson and so that in the event that Wendi was arrested, which they thought would happen, they had set up, I don't know, foster care or something like that for that to happen into. And Wendi gets all mad about it. Wendi does not allow them to see the kids. It's fucking horrible. Like this bitch is evil, man. Evil. It's really similar to what they've done to the Furbush kids. Like the people who murdered their dad they're surrounded by them, by their uncle, surrounded by them. And the same with her kids, who are probably, I would guess, teenagers by now, right? And they don't want to believe their mom is involved in a killing. I don't know what they believe. And I see people saying, wait till they turn 18. I don't think it'll matter when they turn 18. I don't think it's going to matter when the Furbush kids turn 18. I think they're always going to believe Karen Reed did it, no matter what. It's because once you get them young, you indoctrinate them with lies. It's too late, You
thought she was just going to leave them in foster care?
I didn't know what to think. They have a mother. They don't need to be in foster care.
But they wouldn't have a mother in the event of your arrest, Ms. Adelson. Wasn't that the intention of the email?
I don't know what the intent of the email was. I was not going to be arrested for a crime I didn't commit.
Not going to be arrested.
She didn't know that, though, did she?
I don't know what she knows or doesn't know. I can't speak to that.
Do Dan's parents know whether you committed this crime or not?
I don't know how to answer that question.
How would they? Particularly back at the time that she sent that email. It was fresh at that time, right?
I'm sorry, what was fresh?
All the events that were occurring, the arrests.
That was 2 years after Danny's murder. I don't know what she knew or didn't know. I know that my children don't belong in foster care.
Was it a specific foster care that she was requesting be called in the event that the children had no place to go and were going to be going into the custody of the state?
She did suggest a specific foster care agency.
A Jewish-run foster care agency?
A Jewish foster care.
How many times have the kids visited Dan's parents since this murder?
Many. It'd be hard to count.
Countless times?
Countless times.
How many times have they seen her in the last year?
We had a visit with Danny's dad and the boy's cousin this summer. We've had a lot of Skype visits. They do live in Canada.
Oh, so they do. Okay, so they have. His family's from Canada, so apparently they are seeing the kids. I did not know that. Okay, but not I don't know.
So it makes it a little bit harder to have in-person visitation. But every time they've asked for it, we've arranged it.
Every time they've asked for a visit, you've arranged it.
Yes, ma'am.
How many times have they seen him in the last 5 years?
Again,
countless.
As in the last 5 years, that overlaps with the time when they tried to put them in foster care. So since we've reestablished relations, we've seen them about twice a year whenever they come down to Florida.
So in the last 5 years, they've seen him how many times? 2 or 3 times a year?
About that.
Has this been a major issue between you and Dan Markel's parents? This issue of them having access to the kids?
The issue of them trying to put them in foster care is a major
No, ma'am,
issue.
that's not my question.
I'm sorry.
Hasn't the issue of them trying to get access to your kids been a major issue, at least for them?
Since they tried to put the children in foster care, yes. Before that, it was not a problem.
Are you familiar with their work across the street of the legislature trying to get bills passed to give grandparents rights to see kids?
I'm familiar with their grandparents' legislation, but it's actually unconstitutional.
It's actually so Ron DeSantis has signed a bill called the Markel Parent. I forget the name of the Markel Act. That Ron DeSantis, the Governor DeSantis signed. Yeah, the Markel Act, signed in June 24th, 2022, creates a rebuttal presumption for a grandparent to assert rights to custody of their grandchildren when one parent has been found criminally liable for the death of the other parent. So, that's a good bill, and it's a Grandparents' Rights Act, because grandparents have no rights at all. If one of their so that's crazy that her family killed their son and now they don't get to see their are you fucking crazy? I mean, this is a rare case where the actual, if she was in jail, that would be a different story, I suppose. I don't know who would get the kids then, but that's just crazy. That's crazy. So Wendi lives in Texas. Is that right? She goes, it's just the way, look at how she says it's unconstitutional. Cause she is a lawyer, but look how, she hates Ron DeSantis and she hates this law so much. Cause look how she reacted to that. Watch.
Yes, we do them trying to put them in foster care.
No, ma'am, that's not my question.
I'm sorry.
Hasn't the issue of them trying to get access to your kids been a major issue, at least for them?
Since they tried to put the children in foster care, yes. Before that, it was not a problem.
Are you familiar with their work across the street of the legislature trying to get bills passed to give grandparents rights to see kids?
I'm familiar with their grandparents' legislation, but it's actually unconstitutional.
Look at the way she talks. She's such a see you next Tuesday. I'm familiar with it, but it's actually unconstitutional. Is it? Is it though? Because it looks like it passed through the legislature. So, and the governor signed it. So there's that. She's moving to Colorado now too. Who does this? She moved to Texas, now Colorado with her. Oh, she got a new boyfriend. Oh, great. Oh.
Are you mad? Are you angry that according to your brother's theory, he and your mom have known who killed your children's father since 2014? You weren't told who it was?
And we're angry that somebody killed my children's father.
So you're not mad about that they knew this whole time? That's what they're saying.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
That's the theory of the defense in this case, is that he's known the whole time. Your brother's known what happened to Dan. Does that make you angry?
I'm angry about so many things. It's hard to
Is that one of them?
Separate them.
Well, try.
I'm confused. It's hard to process.
And apparently, according to his lawyer, these killers had threatened to kill your brother's family members as well. Did you hear that?
I did hear that.
And that would be you, right?
It would.
Were you told that a specific threat had been made by the same people that had killed your ex-husband to kill your brother's family members?
I was not told.
Would that have been information you would have liked to know back in 2014?
Yes.
Would you have made the same decision to move down to South Florida, closer to the killers?
No, I would not.
And even after the killers were arrested in 2016, you weren't told that that's what was going on the whole time.
I found out yesterday.
No further questions.
She got her. She got her good on that question where she said what everybody's wondering about. Will Wendi Adelson be arrested? When she asked the question about foster care for the kids in the event of her arrest, nailed her right there. And she knew it too. You saw her squirming when she was asked.
I can't believe this woman threw her whole career away to join the retired brigade. I just can't. I can't ever listen to her ever again. Ever. Because of the retarded shit she said during the Kearney case. Fucking ever. Fucking retarded. So, so Charlie gets convicted in November of 2023, right? Talks to his mom on the phone that night, right? From jail. And they just can't believe it. He starts ragging on the jury. He says too many black people on the jury, says some racist shit and whatever. And then his mom on a week or so later gets arrested, okay, at the airport with a one-way ticket to Vietnam. They're about to board a plane to Vietnam, which has a non-extradition agreement with the United States government, so they can't, be, forced to fly her back or arrest her or whatever. And she gets nabbed at the airport.
Got the arrest video for you tonight.
All right, how are you? Yeah, you broke out.
Husband's almost 80 years old. He can't.
Yeah, okay. Please, can I go? No, don't do this, please.
Please.
Oh,
Someone's got to help him get home. It's terrible. You can't do this. This is
She asked her husband to go. I know.
Please. Please. Do you have anything you want to do?
no.
No. Do you have anything of value in you?
No, Must you have a necklace on?
You wanna take it off. And the earrings, the rings, take everything. You give it to your husband. Because once you arrive at County Jail, they're gonna make you remove all that.
Can I call my attorney?
You came to get the passport.
Where am I going?
Now the husband's interesting, Harvey. Does anybody believe does anybody possibly like, how can anyone believe that Donna and Charlie are the only two members of the family that were in on this hit? That she didn't run this by Harvey, the patriarch of the Adelson family, that she just didn't tell him at all. And they also didn't tell Wendi, who directly benefited from this the most. You know, if you're Donna and you're sitting in jail and you're like, she's just dumb enough to get caught on the wire, you know, and it'll be interesting to see what they have on her for evidence. I'm kind of glad that I don't know everything about this, because I want to see all the evidence planned out in court. I want to see what the defense is. I want to see how they're going to defend her. It sounds like they had more on Charlie. It sounds like he was more of a slam dunk, because they got, like, he had the ties to Magbanua. He had made the comments about the hitman, you know, whereas like with Donna, I assume she's fucked, you know, she's got to be in on it. But yeah, we'll see. You know, and according to fake news STS program, there was the guy on there that said that Donna was offered immunity if she turned on Wendi, and that she was offered basically time served, and that turned out to be completely made up.
You're going to the Dade County Jail.
Dade County Jail. No, this is right here, 125.
One second, please. Please. Okay. Do you have any other rings on?
I'm sorry, remove your ears. They're not happening.
You take it right to this. Yeah, we'll go back out and just please.
Just no, it's good. Listen to me.
Yeah. I'll call.
Yeah, can you Uber, go home.
I will.
Take
I
it
will.
easy.
I will.
All right.
Yes.
Sure.
If there's anything else in your personal insurance.
Oh, it's coming, sweetheart. I got it's coming. Just
All right.
Do you have her driver's license?
I'm sorry?
Her driver's
it's in my
the passport.
The license, the address on your license is correct.
Here, what will happen is when you go there, the hospital toss them out. So when you go to the there, you meet the nurse and the doctor, and then they'll work in conjunction with the hospital to get you whatever you need.
Yeah, but I don't have this. I know what
Yes.
I have a is that what you're asking me?
Oh, I know. I was just trying to find out if I wanted to. Yeah.
I have the ring. Hold on. I have the meds.
He has like a breakdown in the back of the squad. Like, where do you see? I want to see the transport. She has a fucking like.
See that usually, but beyond that, what about her demeanor?
Yeah. Anyway, I don't have the full video. It's on another one. I could watch it all night, but you guys get the gist here. So, yeah, that's Donna. So she's been arrested and she's up next. I don't see in what world she doesn't get convicted. Although at her age, you might as well bring it to trial because you're going to die in jail anyway. You know, if she gets 10 years, she's done. She's going to be dead anyway. Probably. I mean, I think she's late 70s, whatever. And I'm more interested in Wendi. I'm like, if Wendi goes, I don't see, dude, you know, she's evil. Like, she's like Jen McCabe. She's a better version of Jen McCabe. She's a better looking, younger, smarter, much smarter, but like, it was smart enough to stay out of it. Where like Jen McCabe involved herself in everything. Just had to be at the center of all this shit. Whereas this woman knew to stay the fuck away. Like, she's not on any of the wires, you know? I don't know. She has a lot of Jen McCabe vibes to her. I do. So I think they all knew about it. I'm surprised how long I guess they needed they had him, I guess, but I guess the Magbanua ultimately snitching on Charlie is what got the dice rolling here. What I don't understand is why they needed to convict Charlie to arrest Donna. Like, if he had been acquitted, would they not have arrested her? Like, that's the part I don't get. I need to learn a lot, but I'm going to learn a lot. I'm going to read about this more. I'm not going to read about it more. I'm just going to watch the trial. I'm going to do what Lawyer, and Emily Baker did when they watched the retrial, and then it's just watch it in court, and that's it. So that's our crash course on the Adelsons. Hopefully we're all caught up. I'm sure I missed a lot, but you guys get the point here. Let me read some turtle chats here. Get some conversation stimulated here. See what people are saying. Okay. Okay. First up, Blessed Mom from Texas, Lisa Marie, sends $15 and goes, Aidan, keep being you, Daddy. Can you please give my daughter Reagan a happy birthday? She turned 11 yesterday. Stay blessed. Well, happy birthday, Reagan. August 18th would be your birthday then, and hope you have many more. So thank you. Next let's see. Rhonda sends $50 and goes, hi, Dr. Turtleboy. Please wish a happy anniversary to my beautiful and incredibly sexy husband, Jorge or George, one of those two. You are my world, my heart, my soul, and I'm still crazy for that hot booty of yours. Oh, they're fucking. Thanks, Turtleboy. Wishing you the best in all things. There are a lot of women that watch this channel that really love their husbands, and they want to use me to tell them that. And I think that's really cool. So there we go. Thank you very much. Next up, Beep Sheep sends $10 and goes, the chief at Boston PD has had plenty of his last name in his mouth over the years. His last name is Cox. So the joke there is that he sucks cocks. So thank you, Beep Sheep. MJ sends $10 and goes, rest in the sweetest peace, Kaylee Montero. Gregory Groom will be arraigned tomorrow in Taunton District Court. Yeah, did you guys see this? A girl from I don't know if she's from Taunton or Rehoboth, from somewhere in the South Coast area. I don't know if that counts as the South Shore, South Coast. He was in Bristol County. He was a pregnant 18-year-old by the name of Kaylee Montero went missing, and her boyfriend, I think first reported by Jessica Machado, was arrested for, I don't think he's been charged with murder yet. Oh boy. But let's see, I guess that's him. I've never looked at it. That's him. Oh God. He ain't gonna do well in jail. So that's Kayla Montero. Yeah. So Gregory Groom, I guess, who will be arraigned tomorrow in Taunton District Court. And then, Kylie Montero. And then I suppose he will likely be indicted in Superior Court, which I believe in that county is in Fall River. So so he's fucked. So that'll be a interesting, horrible case, I'm sure. Pregnant woman, who knows what happened there, but we'll see. All right, thank you. Next. Eric sends $20, goes, listen, Turtle, I don't know what you did, but I'm sure if you whip out your charming smile and maybe the intimidator. Okay, I'm just going to leave it at that, Eric Dolan. I'm not going to read the whole thing. So thank you very much for the $20, but we will leave it at that. I appreciate that. Next up, Nichols sends $5 and goes, why are you not an interested party with King, Walsh, and the others to get their hands on all the Proctor text messages? Do you already have what they're trying to get? Yeah, I think we have them all. We've got a bunch of Proctor shit we can't share because it's like, if we shared it with Rosemary Scarpiccio, I'd probably go to jail because it's like protected. and it's under advisement with Doolin. I don't know if he's going to get around to deciding what he's going to do with that, but it's been a week, right, since my hearing, and nothing's happened. So we'll see. We'll see. Next up, Chris sends $50 and goes, "Thanks for the laughs tonight. I am dying laughing." Well, thank you, Chris, and I appreciate that I can keep you in good spirits over here. All right, do we have any cash apps here? All right, Courtney sends $15 and says, "A man gotta have a code." That's for show. He says Omar says that. I think it was Bunk Moreland that said it to him first, and then he responded, "A man gotta have a code." For show. Yeah. So thank you for that one, Courtney. I appreciate that. Denise sends $20 and says, "God, you give me faith, sweet baby journalism, Jesus." Well, thank you very much. I'm glad I can give you faith in sweet baby journalism, Jesus, and I really appreciate that. Okay, cool. Let me just refresh to see if anyone else has anything to say. No, we're good. All right, folks. Oh, indeed. That's what he says. Oh, indeed. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. All right, cool. Anyway, guys, anybody else got anything they want to ask? It's 11:11 and make a wish, but I kind of dig this 8 o'clock slot. I feel like it's not too late. It's not too late. We had a good 3-hour and 10-minute episode here. It's good to see. Anybody, the U.S. attorney put out a statement that he covered it today regarding Proctor's phones. Oh, okay. I will check that out. And it's fake news, by the way, that this thing has ended with the federal investigation. If you actually read what they say, nowhere in there do they say the federal investigation's over. So, but they can keep telling themselves that if they want. Go ahead. Right. Glaire's going live in 20 minutes. If anyone's interested, there you go. Questions? You need answers, though. Questions are good, but we need answers. That's the key. My next court hearing is September 24th. A nice profile picture you got there, Noodles Mama. You like the 8 slot. I don't know what David Allen Boucher is, but thank you. You just sent a turtle chat. Let me check that one out. Okay, Christina sends $10 and goes, "After Dan's murder and the police secured the scene, Wendi tried to drive down Dan Street." I forgot. See, there's a lot of details. I forgot about that. She tried to drive down the street and was stopped by police. Apparently, she was running an errand to purchase Bullet bourbon. Wendi didn't inquire with police on what happened or try to find out about her kids. That's right. That's right. Forgot about that. That's very true. Thank you for that tidbit. Any news on Karen getting her car and phones back? Yeah, she's supposed to be Lally signed a thing saying he's going to give them back. So I don't know when she's getting that back, but I hope she sells it to a collector. I don't know what the fuck she's going to do to it. She's she has to go to probation classes and stuff for her DUI. It kind of sucks. She took a guilty on that. I'm sure she'll take it. It's a lot better than the alternative. But I guess it played out well, but I don't know. I don't think she should have been convicted of the DUI because they were all drunk. I mean, why isn't Higgins convicted of a DUI? He was fucking doing wheelies in a Pecan police parking lot after drinking Jameson and ginger all night, The next round of Ratchet Madness, I was supposed to get it done today. I ran out of time, but that'll be up soon. And we know who's going to advance. The 4, I'll tell you right now, the 4 who have advanced in the Irish poverty phase region are Jen McCabe has destroyed Lizzie Proctor, just fucking over 90% of the votes. So she's pretty dominant as expected. John Fanning won pretty comfortably over Jessica Hyde, as I thought he would. He has advanced. Colin Albert has thoroughly beaten up on Adam Lally. So he is in the Sweet 16. And Michael Morrissey has beat up on Wendi Murphy. So our Sweet 16 matchups are Jen McCabe versus John Fanning and Colin Albert versus Meatball Morrissey. So those are the 4 that are going to advance. And I'll hopefully have the others up soon. Okay, yeah, exactly. I even had time. I got to catch up on it. Yeah, there's still tickets. Get your tickets available. Yes, absolutely. Okay. Donna wanted her grandkids so much, yet was deserving them by Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's like that's the irony of all is that like even if she had gotten away with it, this all would have been for nothing because she would never see her grandkids again. I don't even know. Does like she not talk to them at all anymore? Does she not talk to Wendy's family? Do they have any communications whatsoever? Do Wendy just throw like I don't understand how Wendy feels about this publicly. Like what's her public? She testified against her brother, I guess, but she said that she doesn't think he did it. I don't fucking know. All right. You keep saying Wilbur. Yes, get your tickets to the Wilbur, guys, if you haven't already. So again, I'll keep sharing that. We've sold well over 600 tickets. Like to get a sellout. I think they can fit 1,099 tickets in there. So it's going to be dope. Might have to do some giveaways for those too. So some people have bought tickets and now want to offer it to us to do our little not at raffles for them giveaways. So we might do that. So there's no new Adelson calls on the phone calls from prison channel, which I love that channel. Okay. My next court date, September 24th. Yep. Wendi only cares about Wendi. Exactly. But why aren't they fucking throwing her under the bus? Or why do they protect this cunt so much? Oh, I don't get demonetized. All right. Anyway, guys, I'll just refresh Turtle Chat one more time so I don't miss anything. Then I'm going to call it a night. Yeah, we're good. Okay, cool, guys. All right. Anyway, I'm out of here, guys. But I love all you fine people. And I will see you guys for the next episode of Turtle Boy Live on Saturday night. We got Sex Cults Thursday night. And it's going to be dope. All right. I'll see you guys then. Peace to you, bum grease, Turtle Riders. Brush your teeth.
It calls for